Salute, MobTube. How's everybody doing tonight? It's going to take a few minutes to fill up the chat because I did just restart this show, but not important. I'm going to talk to you guys about a few different things tonight. The Idaho murders, for one. There's some news on that front. Actually, something we haven't heard before, which is rare these days since, they have a gag order and nobody can speak about it. I want to talk about Lee. Yeah. I was not aware that Lee started, we'll just say, since we're only a minute in, brown nosing Mikey Scars. But we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you guys an old video I made. One of my first videos. It was July 16th of 2021. I had only been on here 16 days, 17 days. All right, and I made this video, and I stand by it. And I'm going to play this for you guys. And we're going to have some fun. I'll bring some people on later, you know what I mean? We'll have a good time. So let me see who we got so far. Bobby Berberian, Antonino, Frankie Cicero, Jesse Roth, M. Soretti, Diversity Training with MRE. Thank you, bro. I agree. FBI, War, Lee Cole's skid-marked pillow. Oh, my God. It's the jacket. Michael Mafia. Davis Dean. I feel like I just shouted you out. Maybe not. Joe Root. Met. Root Irish. Pete the Killer. Richie B. Anthony Cipollone. Anthony Cipollone. That's brutal, but most likely true. Hudson, how are you? Timothy Sullivan, salute, my friend. Good guy right there. Kimberly Hogan, Jason Mikesell, Beck Brooklyn, Cecil Clanton, Styan Norway, Steve Harad, Redheaded Stepchild. I think that's it for now. Oh, Michael McDonald and Stone Sailor. What's up, guys? Dexter Morgan, you too, my friend. All right, so we got 102. It'll take a few minutes. We'll get some people, and I'll get started, But like I was saying, there's several things I want to go over. The Idaho murder stuff, I'll get into in a few minutes, but I'm not surprised by it one bit. I'm telling you guys, I was right on the money. This dude was an incel. There's no way around it. And he was very narcissistic. And whenever he felt like he was rejected by a woman, he got angry, very, very angry. And I think what we're going to talk about in a few minutes proves just that. Maybe not. Depends on your opinion. I don't know. To me, it just proves it. It helps prove what I've been saying since the beginning. This guy was an incel. He was very angry. And even if you say, oh, well, he got girls, but, they weren't that attractive or whatever, doesn't matter. He didn't get the girls he wanted, and it made him crazy. Most people would just suck it up and say, well, maybe I can improve myself, and then I can get the women I want, but not incels. Incels lose their minds, and they want to hurt the women that they can't get, and they want to hurt the guys that can get those women. And I think I would bet money on it that that's what this animal's issue was. And that's going to be the motive. As simple as that. If you call it a motive, he was an incel. You know what I mean? I think it's totally possible he went there, with one specific target in mind. But he knew that there was going to be other people. And he couldn't, there was no way he was just going to get to that one person. I think that he absolutely knew that Kaylee Gonsalves was home for the weekend. Well, not home, but you know what I mean. Back at the house with Maddie and them, okay? I think he knew it. And why do I think he knew it? Because how could you not? How could you not? It's the days of social media. Look at rappers. Look at Pop Smoke. Look at PNB Rock. Look how they got killed. Look at some of King Von's victims, people like that. What do they do wrong? They put their whole lives on social media. They drop their locations. They let you know where they're at. Now, Kaylee was no gangster, gangster rapper, or anything else. I'm just using it as an example. That no matter who you are, especially if you're a very, very gorgeous, very attractive young girl, uh, you're putting yourself in danger because you most likely have some sick bastard out there that's stalking you or obsessed with you. That's not your fault, and you should not have to change your life because of a scumbag like Brian Koberger. Absolutely not. But it's not a perfect world. Things are the way they are. That's it. You know what I mean? I know that if I walk into a bad neighborhood wearing certain things, a lot of jewelry, stuff like that, I'm opening myself up to being robbed. So I don't. You know what I mean? I'm careful. You got to know when to tuck your chain. It's very important in the street. Okay. With young girls, listen, they're not as experienced. They're not street smart, especially girls that came from the victims' backgrounds. But it's a lesson for the future for people. Don't do that. Always assume that there's some scumbag out there obsessed with you who would love to hurt you and live your life, uh, as if that's really the case. You don't have to hide. You shouldn't be punished because you're an attractive girl. But I mean, just be very careful of what you're putting on Instagram and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, Kaylee could have had no idea. She did say she had a stalker, so I don't know. At least that's the word. But if she was home for the weekend, which she was, or at the house for the weekend, whatever you want to call home, I guarantee you Brian knew it. I guarantee you Brian knew it. You know what I mean? He was following them. He was fucking obsessed. He was in whatever area they were in on a regular basis for months. And word gets spread. You know what I'm saying? You think a girl like Kaylee comes back in town for a couple of days and no guys are talking about it? Of course they are. Everybody wants a shot at her. Jack the core or no Jack the core. They don't give a fuck. When it comes to a girl like Kaylee, nobody worries about her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is a mere speed bump in the road. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's predators everywhere, bro. It's a very dangerous situation, you know? And, we know now. Hold on. I always felt like he wanted Gonsalves, couldn't have her, so killed her, and others were collateral damage. Absolutely. I believe that 1,000%. And that's what we're going to find out. Trust me. It's not Maddie. It's not Xana. It's Kaylee. I forgot what I was going to say now. But, it's just, it's the world we live in. You just got to be careful. And these girls were little reckless. There's no way they weren't. I'm not trying to victim blame. It's not their faults that what happened to them happened to them. But you got what, 5 gorgeous young girls in the fucking house, and you leave the doors unlocked overnight and stuff. People know the code to get into the locked doors. People are in and out, stuff like that. It's not good. It's not good. And I don't advise any young person to do that type of stuff. And again, I'm not blaming the victim. I'm just saying things would have been different. I am of the belief that if let's just say they would have had the door locked after the DoorDash guy came, I don't think it would have happened. I swear to God, I would fucking bet my life on it. You know why? I've broken windows and I've kicked doors in. Okay, let me tell you, it's unbelievably loud. If you would have broken the glass in that sliding glass door, it would have woken the entire fucking neighborhood up. Trust me. He was not willing to do that. This is a guy who was terrified of being caught. He's not built for jail, none of that shit. It wouldn't have happened. It's as simple as that. If he couldn't walk in an unlocked door, those murders never took place. That's my opinion. I think he knew. I think he was fully aware that they didn't lock their doors at night. I don't even think it was a concern. I don't even think he was worried. What if I get there and the door's locked? Because he knew better. Again, just my opinion. Let me get down here. We'll get to the Lee stuff later. Do you think he ordered the DoorDash? I don't know. Part of me does, yes, but I don't know. I have a feeling we might find out that Xana ordered it. But I think there's a chance. But I'll tell you, the only reason that I don't think that's the case is because this guy was not smart. He was not meticulous. He was not, you know what I mean? He didn't approach this the way you would expect a person with criminology degrees and knowledge of the law and stuff like that. You wouldn't expect a guy like that to do this the way he did it. He made so many fucking mistakes. So many mistakes. I mean, this dude left the sheath behind, and I don't think it was deliberate. I have, struggled, or whatever you want to say. I've pondered that, okay? And I don't think that's the case. So he left the sheath behind. He left a witness behind, an eyewitness. He used his own car. He got caught on camera. The fucking moron took his phone with him and turned it off during the time of the murders, which is just as bad as keeping it on. Just as bad. It goes off before the murders. It goes on right after the murders. You know what I mean? The guy was a fucking dummy. He was a dummy. But then he tries to be careful. It seems like he was so worried about the police noticing his white Elantra and maybe stopping him on the way back to Pennsylvania with his dad, on the way to Pennsylvania with his dad, that he took this crazy long route from Washington to Pennsylvania. And, they were following him the whole time. He's not good at what he does or what he did. He wasn't good at what he did. Let me fix that. It was a terrible job. It was terrible. And I know people are saying it's circumstantial evidence. I'm telling you guys, what I'm going to show you tonight is just another piece of evidence that got leaked. I bet you they have this motherfucker dead to rights. I bet you they have so much on him. Let me show you something. And in the article I read, it's going to mention this. Let me show you something. So, as soon as he got caught, I was on his social media. I was checking his shit out. I didn't get this from online. I didn't get this from anybody else's site or true crime stream or anything like that. I took this screenshot with my phone the night after he was caught. I found his actual Instagram. And I know you're going to say, how do you know it was his? Because his whole fucking family was following him. He only had a handful of followers. You know what I mean? And his whole family was following him. There was a shit ton of other Brian Kohberger pages. That's what I checked for. Is his family following him? No. So as soon as I realized that, this is his shit, I started looking through his friends list for specific people or his followers. You know what I mean? Whatever. And this is what I found. Right there, guys. See, that's his sister. See that S. Kohberger, 1979? That's his sister. Why would she be following a fake page? But right above that, circled in red, Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves. They were not following him. You could see up at the top. He was following them. And by the way, this 1,329 followers, that's bullshit. When I first found the profile, it had like 90-something followers. All these followers are people that found it after he was caught. And I don't know why they started following him, like as if there's going to be new shit on there. But he was following Maddie and Kaylee. He was watching everything they do. Now I heard following Xana too, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I went through his list of followers or the list of people he's following about 10 different times. I did not see Xana. But isn't it crazy? Maddie and Kaylee, back to back, they're in there next to each other. It's honestly sad. They were always together. But you know why they're together in this list? Because he found them both at the same time. He was looking for them both. He found one, he followed her. He found the next one, he followed her. All right. So hold on, let me see something here. 155 people. That is horrible. People, if you can, please donate. I did a 3-hour show earlier, and if you guys missed it, I know it was titled Addiction and Recovery, but it turned into an entirely different show. The first 40 minutes or so were Addiction and Recovery, and the last hour was Mike DeBella tearing in to Chomo Inc. So if you haven't seen that one, go watch it. If you're not into the addiction and recovery stuff, just fast forward. The Sit Down, a crime history podcast, $10. If this is all they have, I think he beats the rap. Personally, that said, it has to be believed they have way more. Yeah, if this was all they had, I would agree. Thank you for the $10, by the way. But no. And this is going to prove it. Let me show you. I'm going to read it to you. What people.com published either today or yesterday. All right. In late October, an account that authorities believe belonged to Brian Kohberger sent a greeting to one of the female victims. Again, I guarantee you it was Kaylee. The source says, when he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages to her. You know, listen, a lot of you ladies in the chat and a lot of women, you've been through this. These thirsty motherfuckers that, don't understand that when you're ignoring them, it's because you're not interested in them. They don't get it. Okay. Now I put this in the thumbnail. This is a very odd. A lot of the stuff we've been reading about this case is written in such an odd way. I don't know. These people it's like they're writing a romance novel. It's strange, but I don't know what this particular guy was fucking thinking. I really don't. Hold on. I just got distracted because. Okay. He slid into one of the girls' DMs. But he slid into one of the girls is in quotation marks. DMs was added afterwards. I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. I know that's a saying, but isn't that odd? You're talking about 4 dead girls. I don't know. To me, it's just a little distasteful. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a good quote. But anyway, he slid into one of the girls' DMs several times, but she didn't respond, the source tells people. Basically, it was just him saying, hey, how are you? But he did it again and again. Okay, now it goes on to talk about the case, a lot of stuff we already know. And I don't think there's anything else important, but there doesn't need to be. Okay, obviously people. Well, here, let me go on because there is a little bit more. It's unclear why Kohberger didn't get a response to his messages, but authorities say that the victim may have missed them completely. She may not have seen them because they went into message requests, says the investigative source. Instagram users are not notified when they receive a message from someone they do not follow back, and the messages go into a special folder. We're still trying to determine how aware the victims were of his existence. There's no indication that he was getting frustrated with her lack of response, the source adds, but he was definitely persistent. Okay, so I get this a lot. I get a lot of people that send me messages, but I don't follow them. And a lot of the times I won't even see them till months later because it puts it in like a message request folder. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's like a different notification or something. And you have to basically accept them, to continue receiving messages or to reply back, stuff like that. I think a lot of people miss a lot of messages because of that shit. Let's see if there's anything else. No, there's really nothing else pertaining to that. It's just the story. So obviously people got a hold of something. They got a hold of something. Or someone tipped them off. Someone leaked something from law enforcement. Somebody involved in the investigation. They didn't just make this shit up. Listen, there's a good chance they got a hold of the unredacted probable cause affidavit. You know what I mean? There's a possibility they got a hold of that sealed search warrant to his apartment. Because let me tell you, people leak shit all the time. Guys, I know it seems like, fuck, we're not going to find out anything else until June 26th at the preliminary. We're going to find out stuff every day. Every day. People can't keep a secret, okay? And even law enforcement, they want to speak their piece. They want to put some information out there. And don't think that they don't do it deliberately sometimes. Like, yeah, there's a gag order, but we really need the public to know this. So, they call up a magazine or, tell them about, this motherfucker was stalking these, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, without a doubt. But this proves that Brian Kohberger, and I know they're saying authorities believed it to be his account. It was his account, period. Okay. They just got to be careful with the way they word everything. All right. This goes to show that he was trying to contact one of the victims. We think it's Kaylee, but maybe it was Anna, maybe it was Maddie, who knows? But he was trying to contact one of them. What does that prove? That proves that he was aware of them. You know what I mean? He knew who they were. Absolutely. And I'm from social media and stuff. It proves that he most likely knew where they lived too. And possibly their patterns and all that shit. But at the very least, it proves that he knew who they were. That's very, very important. Now, I want to get to one other thing about this. There is a theory that I'm hearing about more and more. The theory goes something like this. Basically, this was some sort of drug house. Now, before I even go on, I just want to tell you, I don't believe that. And I'll tell you why. I've known all types of different people in my life, and I've known a lot of young college girls. A lot. I told you, for about a year, I lived with 2 college girls. You know what I mean? I was on house arrest with them, for fuck's sake, for 3 months of that time. They were both, 21, 22, whatever. And, they wanted no part. Now, I'm not saying that because they're like this. Everyone is. But they were very similar to these girls. They wanted no part in even doing drugs. Now, do I believe Kaylee and them did drugs recreationally? Most likely. Most college kids do. A little blow here and there. I'm not saying they're smoking crack and shooting heroin, but, the party drugs. Coke, Molly, ecstasy, shit like that, sure. Of course, I wouldn't doubt it. Do I know that to be true? No. It's just my opinion. But the theory is that this was somewhat of a drug house. I hate the term trap house. I'll never use that. It drives me insane. It doesn't even make sense. It's a new kid thing. I hate it. So anyway, not new, but you know what I mean. And I heard some member of law enforcement today. I was in the shower, and his video, my phone was on autoplay, and it went to this video. And the video was this law enforcement officer talking about that house absolutely had that reputation. And he knows it because he spoke to a cab driver who apparently had, taken several people to that house, a number of different times. And he said that the cab driver, the first thing he said to them about that house, he might have even said this to investigators, is that it's a drug house. People go there to get drugs. And cab drivers, you guys know, anybody's lived in a city, cab drivers know where everything is. You want a hooker? Ask a cab driver. You want drugs? Ask a cab driver. You want to go to a speakeasy? Ask a cab driver. An illegal card game, whatever it may be. And this cab driver told the cops straight up, listen, it was a drug house. I brought people there all the time, and they didn't stay long. There was people in and out of that house all night, every fucking night. So I start to think, okay, let's just say it's starting to really look like that's a possibility. I'm going to tell you my theory on that for a lot of reasons. I think that if anybody was doing it, it was most likely a boyfriend of one of the girls, or just one of the girls. And maybe this is wrong, and it's just my opinion. I'm not stating this as fact. My theory would be, if that's the case, it would have been Dylan. A lot of fucking reasons. I have a lot of reasons for why I'm saying that. And there's, theories or rumors, I should say, that Dylan was dating a high-level drug dealer. Again, dating a drug dealer, I believe. A high-level drug dealer, no. But, they exaggerate everything. If people were coming there to get drugs, it probably wasn't necessarily the residents. It was probably people that hung out there that sold drugs. I've been in that situation. I've been at parties where people call me, hey, you got this, this, and this? Yeah, here's where I am. And they come to the party and I sell it to them there. You know what I'm saying? Another thing a lot of drug dealers do is just post up at parties to sell the drugs to the people that are, attending the party. So, but I don't believe that Kaylee and Xana and Maddie and Bethany, I don't believe that they were fucking running a goddamn, crack house or fucking a drug house by any means. I don't believe that. But a lot of weird shit is starting to come out more and more. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times now I've heard people say, and I'm talking about people that were interviewed that were in the know, so to speak, say that this was a drug house. And if so, the theory that goes along with that is that Brian, because this cop was, after basically studying Brian Kohberger, came to the conclusion that Brian Kohberger spent a lot of his adult life, most likely, on Adderall, specifically. He talked about the effects of it on people who, don't have ADD or ADHD, and he went over Brian's habits. One thing they've found out about this guy in the last couple of months is he never fucking sleeps. There's an article titled Brian Kohberger Never Sleeps. You know what I mean? Or suspect never, something like that. When could he? Jesus Christ, they got his phone pinging all hours of the day. He's up all the fucking time. His neighbor said he'd be up in the middle of the fucking night, 3 a.m. His neighbor would hear him doing shit upstairs. But he'd go to school. He's doing all this shit. Look at the murders even. I mean, now that was, of course, out of the ordinary. It wasn't a normal day by any means, but he's out there from what, 2 something in the morning till he commits the crime, 4 something in the morning. Then he leaves, and at 9:30, he's back there. And then they said he drove by again later in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, something like that. This guy was obviously on something. You know what I mean? So the theory is that his experience within that house is basically going there to pick up drugs. I don't know if that's true. But don't think that Bethany and Dylan don't know this guy just because you haven't heard it yet. There's a good possibility that they did. Now, one thing is pissing me off greatly. There's a fucking picture floating around, a super fuzzy picture that's supposed to be Dylan hugging Kohberger outside of some club. Yeah, no, I've seen Dylan. I'll bet my fucking life on it. She never fucking so much as shook hands with Brian Kohberger. Has she seen him around? Maybe said hello to him? Sure. Outside hugging him intimately? No fucking way. Have you seen Dylan? Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, no. Nope. So, I don't know. There's a lot of bullshit floating around, but there's a lot of stuff that's making me think too. You know what I mean? There really is. There's a lot of stuff that's changing my mind about some things. Joey Frakes, $5. Show earlier was good, bro. Thank you, Joey. Thank you very, very much. Stone Sailor, thank you for putting that up. Yeah, what do you guys not want me to eat tonight? I'm fucking starving to death. I need shkarol. I need money. You know what I mean? I need a few fazools. I need some bread. For Christ's sake, what are you doing to me? Timothy Sullivan, this is unrelated, but Chomo Inc. is not going to last on YT. Fly into MCO3. I'll take care. I'll take you over to interview Gene in Tampa. Maybe SoFlo could come up. Epic. When I was in Florida, I talked to Gene Borello on the phone, but it was my last day there, and he wanted me to come to Tampa to interview him. You know what I mean? But I was like, bro, it's my last day. If I go to interview you, Shanna might kill me before we get home. Like, she might actually kill me in my sleep. So it's a no-go. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I probably would have. It would have been cool, but trust me, I'll be back in Florida quite often around summertime. Yeah, did you, Timothy? I don't remember. Oh, look at this, my beautiful Shanna. I love you, my angel. I hope you're having a good night. Thank you for being here. Shanna's birthday, guys, is Thursday. She is going to be 25. Yes. On January 19th. If anybody wants to send her gifts, you know my address. I could have slid in the mail slot if the door was locked. Oh, because you're Chickie's tiny bully. I get it. Oh, shit. That's so fucking funny. Hold on. Chemical Engineer. I loved listening to DeBella destroy Russo. Me too. $20. Thank you. That was a classic moment. I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that out of the Addiction and Recovery show and just make it its own video because it's deserving of it. And I'll tell you what. It actually went along with the Addiction and Recovery video because Mike DeBella, out of nowhere, told us his story of addiction. It's really crazy. Like, it was a good story. I appreciate him doing that. So, and plus, guys, I know most of you didn't see it. Mike DeBella and Jimmy made peace during the show. Yeah, because there was a little beef there. And they made peace during the show. It was fucking phenomenal. So, check it out. Thank you, Chemical Engineer, for the $20. And now let me get to PayPal. Just give me 1 second, guys. Oh, $10 for my man Antonino. Keep the true crime mixed in the rotation. Yeah, you know what? That's the way I'm doing it. I'm doing that for a reason. Because not everybody will be interested in the true crime, so there's a little mob tube drama. Not everybody will be interested in the mob tube drama, so I start the show off with true crime. You know what I'm saying? That's my plan for now until I can really get into all types of different stories and investigations and stuff, and then make this a full-time true crime channel, if that ever happens. All college houses or drug houses. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Wise Guy TV, but you know what I mean. It's usually not the people at the house selling it. You got to realize, especially girls, they're in college. They got futures ahead of them. Kaylee Gonsalves already had a job lined up. And look at Xana. Xana just seemed like so innocent, such a sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, she's cute. You couldn't imagine her trying to, you know what I'm saying? Risking her whole future to live in a fucking drug house. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Chickie's tiny bully. People lock their drugs up. Don't leave doors unlocked. And give out your codes. No, you shouldn't. Absolutely not. Damn, FBS with the hot take. Dylan sells crack. No. Not crack. No, that's different neighborhood type of shit. Different type of woman. No, I think Dylan might have sold some pills, and probably not even on her own. Probably for a boyfriend. Maybe some Adderall, shit like that. You know what I mean? New age shit, not the stuff we used, Wise Guy TV, back in the day and all that. Not cocaine. Well, maybe cocaine. But not crack, not heroin, nothing like that. Maybe some perks, some fucking opiates, and some Adderall. It's possible. But I don't think so. I think most likely it was the people hanging out there that sold the drugs. You know what I mean? But you are right, though, Wise Guy TV, because I used to go to some of those houses and sell a lot of shit. Yeah, well, I don't know, Lynn. Yeah, you're right. It makes sense. But at the same time, these girls were not careful about much of anything. Michael Mafia, $4.99. What's up, my friend? Thank you so much. I mentioned before he went on 6-7 mile runs late at night. Oh, yeah, I heard his running partner talking about it. Yeah. Guy was fucking, there's no way you're doing that type of shit sober. You're studying, you're going to school for a goddamn PhD. I mean, do you know how much goes into that? It's not the same as getting your bachelor's degree or something. I mean, this guy had to be on point. So I don't know. What the fuck is this, Muggs? Your last boyfriend really must have broke your heart. You got to get over it sometimes. You can't go through life like that. Who are you talking to? The fuck? Cecil Clanton, if it's not coming from the police, I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. Well, but here's the problem. Nothing's going to come from the police. You know what I mean? Or we won't know if it does. The police are not allowed to speak about this. Prosecutors are not allowed, defense attorneys, nobody. So we don't know, but people are getting, some of this shit is just absolute bullshit that they've made up, but some of it, like this, what I'm doing this show on, the fucking DMs, oh yeah, that's true, guarantee it. And it came from somebody involved in that case, without a doubt. Shrooms, yeah, possibly. Yeah, college kid type of drugs. You know what I mean? You never know, Wise Guy TV. But again, most likely it was other people. The whole Dylan had a drug dealer boyfriend. Maybe she did. I don't know. But oh, he's talking to Jesse. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, who knows? We'll find out eventually. Best case scenario for us is BK takes a plea, then he can tell us what happened. I know, but he won't. He's not going to. He's all prepared for trial. Even I was surprised. I'm like, wow, this dude, unless he just knows he's going away for life, it takes a little balls to put off a preliminary 6 fucking months. That's like, if you're somebody who really believes you're gonna get off and walk free, then you're just adding 6 months to your time in jail. And I can't see Brian Koberger being comfortable in jail. What the fuck? Hold on, guys. Vicky Gotti just lost that big house she owned. It was just foreclosed on by the bank. Good. Did I do any other drugs besides cocaine and alcohol? Not consistently. I didn't, I did, I tried ecstasy. It was so good. I never did it again. I did acid a few times, and the last time I did it was the worst fucking experience of my life. I had a bad trip. I did shrooms, but I didn't do shrooms like a normal person would. I didn't realize what shrooms are like. So I was sitting there in a car with like a half ounce of shrooms, and I was just eating them like they were potato chips. That was on a New Year's Eve, probably somewhere in the mid 90s. And again, no, I think it was 99. I think it was New Year's Eve 99 going into 2000. No, it wasn't. It had to be 98 going into 99 because I was still a full-blown alcoholic. It was terrible. It was fucking terrible. The walls were closing in on me. The ceiling was coming down. And other than that, I smoked weed a few times. That's it. It's a 4-day pretrial going over the discovery evidence. Yeah, I know, but I wouldn't doubt if it lasts longer than that. I was just listening to a case earlier where they said the fucking pretrial was 3 weeks. I was like, what? But it might wind up being longer than that. But I know that's the time they scheduled for it, Lynn GMB. Oh, Timothy Sullivan, without a doubt. I'll keep you posted. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll take a couple of trips. Mike DeBella, let me know I got a spot in Clearwater. I'll meet up with you guys. Oh, all right, cool, bro. Definitely. There we go. Good Gotti news tonight. Yeah. If anything, it may be pot. They know how to grow plants. Yeah, it's possible too. It's very it's been years, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Let me think if there's anything else. Wait a minute. I feel like I put something else up here. Oh, okay. That's for a different segment. Casey Robinson, $10. The thing with these cases is if he takes a plea, he will tell his narrative. He loses, he tells his narrative. We won't know the truth like Chris Watts. Chris Watts, after he went to prison, he fucking decided to finally tell it, the whole story. I don't know if this cocksucker would ever do that, but I hope somehow, we get to hear it from him, but I don't think it's likely. He ain't taking a plea. He's not taking a plea. He's going to have a dream team of attorneys. You know what I mean? And unless the prosecution's case is so goddamn airtight, he ain't taking a plea. I just don't see it. But who knows? And I don't know if the defense got the discovery yet. Most likely not. But that's when they'll be able to tell Brian Kohberger just how much trouble he's really in. Everybody's got questions for Mike DeBella. Death penalty case. Thank you, by the way, Casey Robinson. Yeah, Lynn GMB, I don't know. It's definitely going to be a death penalty case, but we've spoken about this before because of the Casey Anthony case. I just hope that that's not the only option, like a capital murder, something like that, and that's it. Because juries have a hard time putting people to death. Casey Anthony was overcharged. I'm not saying she didn't deserve the death penalty, but they didn't give like a first-degree murder option. It was just capital murder or nothing. And because of that, some of the jurors even said they just weren't comfortable putting this woman to death if there was any type of reasonable doubt. But I bet you if there was an alternative sentence, like life in prison without parole, I bet you they would have convicted her. So because the state fucked up, I feel like that pig gets to walk the streets forever. All right, guys, that's it for the Idaho murders talk. If anybody new, like you, Lynn, you might be new to my channel. I kind of mix things up. I'm going to go from the Idaho murders thing to talking about stuff within our community here. We have a little community that's based basically around the Mafia. And we go back and forth with content creators, and that's what I'm going to move on to now. So I understand if you're not interested. Stephen Cordell, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, $10 for a good show earlier. Thank you very, very much, bro. Thank you. Yes, you're new. Okay, well, Lynn, thank you for being here. I appreciate you watching. I hope you subscribe. I do a lot of stuff on the Idaho murders, but I tend to kind of split the show a lot of the time where I move on to stuff, about our little YouTube community here. So it might seem bizarre to you that I'm going on to talk about some fucking nobody in Texas, but that's what we're about to do. So I hope you keep checking out my shows for the Idaho murder stuff. Variety Hour, yeah. So the Lee thing is that maybe I should do this first, guys. 193 people. please, please, please donate if you can. I'd appreciate it very much. The last couple of days have been absolutely fucking horrible. So if you got it, please donate. Now let me move on. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys an FBS video. And I'm going to walk you through it a little bit. In other words, I'm going to stop it from time to time and tell you exactly what I meant by every little thing. And Lee, this is for you. And it's for a lot of people. It's for Angel. It's for MRE. It's for everybody on SlobTube. Now, stupid people. This is Lynn. This is believe it or not, this is the Mafia community. We talk mob related stuff here, and we go back and forth with each other a lot. The content creators, we go back and forth with each other a lot. A lot of fighting goes on here. A Story of Greeks, $9.99 super sticker. Thank you, my friend. So here's the thing. Oh, no. It's cool. I understand. Yeah, I don't know. You might. Who knows? There's a lot of... it's like a soap opera over here. Right? It's fun. It's fun. There's always some drama going on. You know what I mean? People fighting with each other. But it's excellent entertainment. I'll tell you that much. And I'm trying to transition from that to true crime. So until I can do that fully and really turn my channel into true crime 100%, I'm going to be... continuing with some of this MobTube shit. Oh, you're from Boston. So there you go. So I'm quite sure you're aware of some mobsters. Probably some Italian ones from the North End. And of course, Whitey Bulger, people like that. I would assume. So stick around. See if you like it. All right. So Mike, not Mike. I'm sorry. I saw Mike in the chat. Let me get back to what I was saying. I was going to address Lee, but this is for all the people on SlobTube. Okay. I made this fucking video on July 16th, and I stand by everything I've, I said in this video. I stand by it all till this day. Hold on. I'm still looking. Wait a minute. Yeah. All right. So let me share this video with you guys and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And there's a reason I'm playing it tonight because not only, absolutely everyone in SlobTube should hear this, but specifically Lee Cole. Okay. So here we go. I am, like I've said before, I believe in being 100% honest and genuine. Mean what you say what you mean. Yep. And don't front. Don't front for YouTube. Don't front for friends. Don't front for family. Just be who you are. Okay. That applies to a lot of things. Like, for example, when I used to deal drugs, I used to dress like a drug dealer and wear jewelry like a drug dealer and spend money like a drug dealer. I'm not that anymore. So I don't act like that, dress like that, or spend money like that anymore. It's not who I am. I'm a working guy now, and only a working guy. So I act as such. That's another reason why, I hate fucking people who, even if they were gangsters at one point, continue to act like gangsters, dress like gangsters, carry themselves like gangsters. I can't stand that shit. It's so phony. It's just, it's cringy. It makes me sick. Now, you guys have heard me say that recently. So again, everything I was saying 16 days after I started my fucking channel, I still say till this day. A lot of people who can't think outside of the box, like MRE and those douchebags, are like, he used to be an anti-rat channel. He fucking hated rats when he started. No, I didn't. I never fucking said that. Okay? I was not like MRE or none of those fucking guys. And you'll see it in this video because, again, this video took place a little over 2 weeks after I created my fucking channel. But a lot of what I've been noticing is these guys that rave and rant about rats all day, every day, nonstop, in every fucking video. Watch what I say. You constantly hear them saying they hate rats. They hate rats. But then, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, you'll see them, like, kind of siding up to a rat. And, it's like, well, that one's okay. or, you know, if that rat seems to be doing something for them or serving a purpose for them now, you know, forget what I said. You know, that thing I said, it applies to all the other ones, but this guy, I'm going to work with him for now because I think it'll get me clicks or it'll get me, you know, whatever. See? Does that remind you of anything? Now, like I said, I did make an apology to RJ Roger and to some extent Mikey Scars because some of the shit I said was simply a misunderstanding. I thought that, you know, he was attacking me at one point because of the angel thing. And, you know, I just learned some things, you know what I mean? And I shouldn't have attacked him the way I did. I'll say that. I don't know that much about the guy as a man. I only know about his life in the street. So anyway, I'm not going after Mikey in this in any way, shape, or form, but this is what I'm talking about in that video. I saw it early on. You'll be hard-pressed to find one of these so-called rat haters who hate all rats. And let me tell you something. You can't be a rat hater without hating all rats. You can't. You can't be a white supremacist without hating certain races. You can't, MRE. You know what I mean? You're either there's what did Howie say to me before? I think there's you can't be half pregnant. Yeah, exactly. You're either this or you're that. But in Mikey's case, there's a whole lot of people who don't consider him. Well, I guess they consider him that, but they excuse it because he talks good about the Gottis or whatever it may be. If they want to do that, that's fine. But then don't go around saying you hate rats. Okay. And Lee, I saw what happened. Now, you're lucky I only found out about this yesterday, late last night, actually. I had no idea. Mikey Scars shouted you out, and then fucking 5 minutes later, you did an entire video kissing his ass. I listened to it today. It was cringy, bro. It was fucking cringy. So, let me show you some more. If you hate rats, okay? Yep. Hate all of them. All of them. You can't pick and choose, okay? That's it's fake, it's phony, it's bullshit, and it says a lot about you, and you know, none of it's flattering. You don't hear me saying I hate rats all like that. I might have said it here and there, and I don't even think I might even slip up from time to time and say it. But honestly, I don't hate specific people just because they rat it. I used to be like that, and don't get me wrong, I have more of a reason than 99% of people. And let me remind you, one of the reasons I said that is because till this day they say, oh, you went after John A. Light, you went after Gene Borello, you hated rats. Let me explain for the millionth time. I went after John A. Light because I did not like him as a person. I didn't like his fucking, the way he dresses, the way he acts like he's still a gangster. I didn't like the way he exaggerated his position and tried to make himself sound like he was the fucking godfather. I didn't like the way he attacked people. I just didn't like him. Did I not like that he was a rat too? Yeah, in the beginning, definitely. But is that the reason I went after him? No. Gene Borello? Why did I go after him? Because he's a rat? No. I didn't say a word about Gene Borello until he started attacking me. Then I went after him. It had nothing to do with him being a rat. Did I use that to insult him? Of course. Who wouldn't? It's easy. You know what I mean? It's low-hanging fruit. It's just like when people want to fucking insult me, the first thing they say is I'm a junkie because I have a history of addiction. So if you're fighting with somebody who's a rat, you're probably going to attack them for being a rat. Let me move on. Every fucking case I ever caught, every charge, it was because somebody ratted me out or somebody set me up in a controlled buy or something. So I have every reason in the world to hate rats, okay? Now I've grown up a little bit. I'm not living that life anymore. I understand people have their reasons. I'm not saying it's right. I don't believe that being an informant or a rat is right. I absolutely don't. There you go, Kane Shades, MRE, and all you cocksuckers. I've been saying it since the beginning. But I'm to the point where I just realized that it's all horseshit, like a lot of people realize. This is what people do. They rat. And if you become a criminal and you're not prepared for that shit, then you're probably going to become a rat. Because the number one thing to be prepared for when you decide to become a criminal is to go to jail. Okay. And if you're not prepared when that time comes, and it will, that's when you become an informant. First thing to know when you start committing crimes is eventually I'm going to jail. I'll be there, no matter what. I guarantee you they'll catch you eventually.
Unless you're MRE and you're, well, he's a rat.
That's why I just believe in, not going after people anymore because they did that, or I don't know their story. I didn't walk in their shoes. And like I said, and
thank you.
Like I said,
this debunks everything they've been trying to say about me. I should have done this a long time ago. For fucking a year and a half. You know what I mean? Everything they've been trying to say about me. Oh, you didn't hate rats in the beginning. You hated rats in the beginning. You fucking, you made videos about it. You said it all the time. Again, guys, look at the fucking year. Look up this video on my channel, my rat rant. You're going to see it's from July 16th. I created my channel on June 30th. I explain thoroughly in this video how I am not one of these anti-rat fucking people. I'm honest to a fault. I'm one of the only people, I guarantee you, that's willing to say this, but you all know it's true. I don't give a fuck who you are, how hard you are, how tough you are. It don't matter. You can't say for sure what you would do if you were facing life or 50 years, or you can't until that time comes. Yeah,
you can't. And I might have mentioned this before too, but I always say to people, I didn't do crimes that could get me 50 years. Because I never want to be in the position where it's either rat or my life is over.
100% true.
Okay. I didn't do 50-year crimes because I didn't want to do 50-year sentences. Or 30 years. Okay. It's.
Or 20.
So to constantly, to do a blanket thing, everybody who's a rat, I fucking hate them and they're this and they're that. And
well, that's what I
said, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. But, these are why you got to make this decision before you start committing your crime. And if you're going to commit some crime, then base what kind of crime you commit on what kind of time you're willing to serve. Okay. If you want to be a drug dealer, sell drugs at a level where, you might be facing 5 to 10 tops. Don't become a kingpin. Okay. Because then if you're facing 20, 30, 40, 50 years, then you got to really make a decision. And another thing is, and this is very true, I'm telling you, I have the life experience and the street experience to know this. This is an absolute fact.
Listen up.
The guys that rant and rave the most about rats, you'll a lot of the time find out that they were rats at one point, that they ratted, that they informed, that they got people locked up. It's just like, when you hear people who hate gay people, they hate them.
See, I was making this argument early on. It's very true. I told you, look at all the people who claim to hate rats. Chicago Muscle, every fucking day, 10 times a day, is threatening to call the FBI on someone. Angel, same thing. Every time she's upset with somebody, she's calling the FBI, the police, the fucking lawyers. She's going to sue you. MRE. What did I say? If anybody who's constantly fucking complaining about rats all the time, you're going to find out that they were a rat. We found out MRE was a rat. Most likely still is. Okay. It goes for everybody on that side. Josie, same fucking thing. Ready to call the cops all the time. Lee, he just started hating rats for the first time a few months ago because all of them blew him off and he's scorned. Okay, but how many times has he threatened to call the cops? And how do we know he didn't rat in his past? I guarantee you, if he had the opportunity to, he did. But he records phone calls. He hands off the tapes to fucking people so they could use them in a court of law against the person he recorded. If you're bitching about rats all day, every day, there's a 99.9% chance we are eventually going to find out that you are a rat. Period. And I go on. I compare it to the gay thing. Listen, you hear this with politicians a lot. Everything about them, their lifestyles choices, they're worried about what they're doing behind closed doors. Their whole life is consumed with gay people. Then what happens?
they wind up getting caught with, you know, somebody of the same sex in a fucking hotel room or somewhere or some shit.
Yep.
And you find out that it's because they were gay the whole time. And, you know, you gotta, when you're insecure about that, you know, you try to cover up with this outward hatred, you know, for or maybe it's just because you hate yourself for being that. So, you know, you're like trying to fight it by you know, taking every opportunity to tell people how much you hate rats or, you know, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason you don't hear me rant and rave about fucking rats. You don't, because most of the people that do that shit are rats or were rats at one time. When something like that is always on their mind, like I said, I've been set up a bunch of times. There was a time where I wanted to destroy every fucking person who set me up. I used to plot to kill these fucking people and everything else.
True.
Now it's like, listen, Freeway Rick Ross said this in an interview once. Simply put, he said they asked him what he would do if the guy that set him up was in the same room as him. And he said, nothing. He said, nothing. I'm not mad at him because it was my own fault for getting involved in the drug game. And in the drug game, that's what people do. They tell.
Yep.
And that's it. That sums it up right there because it's true.
Now listen to the rest.
If you're committing a certain kind of crime, you know, especially these days, and then you get set up, is it the rat's fault or is it your own fault for committing the crime?
How long have I been saying that, guys? It's not new when I say it. It's not. It's called personal fucking responsibility. Okay? It's called reflecting a little bit and saying, wow, I was fucked up, bro. They set me up. But did they set me up doing what? Did they set me up working in the garden, mowing my lawn, driving my car around, sightseeing? No. They set me up breaking the fucking law. I was selling cocaine. Okay? And if you're a mobster, same thing. Same thing. It's not the rat's fault. I hate to break it to you. John Gotti could not have been sent to prison for life if he hadn't committed the crimes that people ratted on him for. So whose fault is it that you went to prison for life? Yours for being a criminal or somebody else's for telling on you about it? I guess I'm the only motherfucker in the world who takes personal responsibility for my actions. Because last time I was sitting in jail, I was beating myself up.
To begin with, and your own fault for thinking that this wouldn't happen eventually or trusting, you know, that particular person. Trust me when I tell you everything I'm saying is true. The guys that rant and rave the most usually have something to hide, but that's fine. That I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't. It makes no difference to me what other people do. I worry about myself and myself only. So I don't care who hates who and who, you know, rants about what. That's their own business, and I have no say in what anybody else does. I'm just saying, if you want to appear genuine at all, and you want people to relate to you, trust you, believe in you, then stick to your guns, okay? Yep. If you claim to hate rats, okay, then you got to hate all rats. You can't just pick and say, well, I don't like these guys, but this guy over here, he was good to me, and, you know, he might do this for me or that for me.
Hear that, Lee?
Listen, man.
Angel, MRE,
I don't, you know, I just want to see people have integrity and stand for something. Yep. And if that's what you stand for, hating rats, then fucking live up to it. Don't pick and choose, man, because then you don't hate rats. Okay, if you could be friends with any rats, then you don't hate rats.
Absolutely.
You don't. So stop talking shit about rats.
Yep.
It's fucking, honestly, this is all kid shit anyway. Okay, it's been a long time since people stayed loyal and kept their fucking mouth shut. And you know, this is the thing now. I mean, look, these guys are glorified. Rats are being glorified every day. They're the heroes now of the mafia and of everything else. They're the guys everybody looks up to and subscribes to and takes interest in. It's crazy when even 20 years ago, we would have spit in these people's faces if they even showed their face in public after doing what they did. But now, not only is it acceptable, it's fashionable. It's fashionable. It's like, it's almost a cool thing to do. I mean, the fact that Tekashi 6ix9ine is not only still alive, but able to still sell records and have this huge following and social media following and everything, that says everything. Okay. And I know some people want to be, no, that's just that type of people and that's just the hood. It's everywhere, man. Right? Everybody's telling. And if they're not, they'd be willing to under the right circumstances. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I've been seeing it more and more, and it's it's like it's fucking infuriating sometimes to listen to these people. All right, I think that's all I needed to show. There was about a minute left or something, but it's probably just me saying peace out. You know what I mean? So you see what I'm saying there? Like I stand by that till this day. This is another little piece of proof that FBS never changed. He never flip-flopped. He was always the same fucking guy from the beginning. One thing, it's amazing to me. I went from looking up to John Gotti to thinking he's a piece of dog shit. And they call me a flip-flopper. Angel once loved me. Now she hates me. Does that make her a flip-flopper? No. People change their minds. Now, I'll tell you what makes you a flip-flopper. Lee, based on who his friends are, he takes on their beliefs. And as soon as he's not friends with them anymore, he goes against their beliefs. Okay? He doesn't actually believe in anything. If you guys think he hates rats, you're out of your fucking mind. He would give his left fucking arm to have Anthony Arlotta on or Mikey Scars. You know what I mean? He bragged about being friends with Gene Borello, loved A-Light and Jimmy Calandra. Oh, and kissed Bill Catolo's ass. That's a flip-flopper. Lee, in the beginning, like John Gotti, spoke well of him. Then him and Angel got in a fight. He hated John Gotti. Even blamed Frankie Boy for his own death. Then he was trying to get back in with her. He loved John Gotti again. Then she blew him off. He hated him again. And now that he finally found some sort of a possibility of a real friendship with her, now he hates rats again. You're full of shit, Lee. And you know why I know that? Because I'm watching it. I watched that sorry-ass video you did Saturday. Yeah, you disguised it as a video about the beef between Sammy and Michael. But the truth of the matter is, that was so cringy. Now, don't get me wrong. I love RJ. But even RJ, after listening to that show you did, has to be like, oh my God, Lee, what the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Like, take your nose out of my ass crack. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, I love RJ, and I'll rant about the guy all day, what a great guy he is, but it's a little bit different. Me and RJ have been friends for quite some time, damn near this entire time. You know what I mean? And I've said those things about him since the beginning. Lee is just all of a sudden kissing his fucking ass for a lot of reasons. You have to understand. Lee's channel is doing worse than it ever has. The only time he gets views is when he puts Sammy the Bull in it, in the title, Mikey Scars, Gene Borello. He can't do what I do. How do I know? I've seen him try. I did a show last night called Monday Night Chat. Look how fucking well. I had almost 300 people the entire fucking time. No name dropping, no famous gangsters in the thumbnail, no thumbnail at all. Just Monday Night Chat. I've done shows called a show about nothing where I've made $500 fucking cash and gotten 4,000 views. You know what I mean? Lee tried to do his own thing. And what did he wind up doing? Interviewing people who are on a lower level on YouTube than he is. And the shows did horrible. Okay? So his new thing is he'll kiss up to RJ. And why is he doing that? Guys, you already know. RJ is the Mikey Scars Connect. That's it. RJ is the Mikey Scars Connect. Lee wants an interview with him so bad he could taste it. Now, let me tell you something. I'm not saying I definitely could have. I don't think Mikey likes going on different shows. I think he just does his thing with RJ. But you can ask RJ. Ask RJ if I ever even mentioned to him, bro, maybe you can get me an interview with Mikey Scars. Never did. I never would. First of all, that's RJ's partner. Secondly, I wouldn't use my friend like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my place. It's like you and Mikey do your thing. That's cool. Would an interview with Mikey be great? Probably. But RJ does them already. That's why they have a show together. But Lee, you got to understand, he's desperate. He's realized now he'll never get Arlotta. He'll never get Howie Santos. He'll never get Frank Fiordolino. He'll never have Bill Catolo back on. He'll never have Jimmy Calandra back on. Gene Borello hates him. John Alite hates him. What's he searching for? Anyone that'll take him. And he sees an in with RJ and Bill Catolo. Just my opinion, Lee. Hate to break your heart. But I happen to believe that that's never going to happen. It's just my opinion. I don't know. I can't speak for RJ or Mikey, and I haven't talked to either one of them about this. But I just don't think it's going to happen. You know why? Because they see you for what you are. Mikey gave you a shout out the other day. I'm not even sure why. That's cool, whatever. But again, with the flip-flopping, Lee, what, like 4 or 5 days ago, you were bashing Mikey? Haven't you been bashing Mikey for months? But now you realized, you know what I got to do? Listen how he was talking about RJ's show, the quality. It's perfect. It's this, it's that, the quality, the quality. That's content. That's real mob content, people. And Lee, you are such a fucking dumbbell. Lee said, I learned a lot of things I didn't know before. Did you know? This is what Lee said. That Mikey Scars is the godfather of John Jr.'s son. He says, see, this is stuff we don't know, people. Stuff we didn't know. Lee, I hate to break it to you. Yes, we did. It's kind of one of those things, Lee. If you know the mob pretty well, especially that era, you know that. Let me show you something, Lee, how fucking stupid you are and how little research you do. You talked all this shit about Mikey Scars, but you never even took the time to look at his fucking Wikipedia. Because if you did, guess what you'd see? Look at the last line of the first paragraph. Junior Gotti eventually named D. Leonardo as godfather for his second son. And don't get me wrong, that's not where most of us learned it. Most of us learned it through, studying the mob and especially that era. We just know little facts like that. It kind of comes with, being somebody who should, or who at least aspires to have a YouTube show about the Mafia. Little things like this. That's why you're such a dunce, bro. When you say things like, we didn't know that. When he said we, he meant all of us. He thought when Mikey divulged that the other day, that was like a secret that nobody ever knew about. Yeah, we all did, Lee. We all knew about it. And like I said, all you had to fucking do, if you go right to his Wikipedia, it's right there, bro. Oh, God, you're so fucking stupid. You are so clueless, bro. So fucking clueless. And listen, and I'm bouncing all around, but I'm trying to remember everything I got to get to because I want to bring a couple of people on. At least if I keep getting donations, it'll be worth it. Otherwise, I'll say fuck it. But what was I going to get to? I lost my train of thought. Oh, you've got this vendetta against Sammy now. You know what I'm going to do within the next couple of days? I'm going to go back through your videos and I'm going to find some videos you made about Sammy. And you know what we're all going to watch? We're going to watch you doing exactly what you're doing with Mikey Scars right now. Exactly. You got a little, a little hint that maybe, holy shit, I might be able to get a Sammy the Bull interview. And bro, you kissed his ass nonstop for fucking months. And then when you didn't get that interview, what'd you do? You turned on Sammy. And that's what you're doing now. And that's why you went from bashing Mikey Scars to now praising him. One, because he gave you a shout out, and you see that as your way in. You're a fucking loser followers. You're like, oh my God, Mikey likes me. He probably used his index finger and his thumb and just jerked off all over his house after Mikey Scars gave him a fucking shout out. Yeah, that's how he does it, I heard. Okay. And that's what you're doing now, bro. You're kissing his ass in hopes that you can get an interview with him. Such a fucking loser. You are like the type of guy that, you're at a bar or something and a girl says hi and smiles at you and you are convinced that that girl wants to fuck your brains out when she was just being friendly. That's what you're doing with Mikey right now. And listen, Mikey might genuinely like you. It's not about what Mikey's doing. It's about what you're doing. Bro, your video was ridiculous. First of all, and listen, I'm not bashing Mikey, but you said Mikey makes no excuses. He's the only one that says that he just didn't want to go to prison. Wrong. And most of us know that because we know mob shit. And Lee, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a homework assignment tonight. Watch the Trevor McDonald documentary about the Mafia. Okay? And I'm not bashing Mikey, but I'm sure even he would admit this. He's spoken several times about why he ratted. And there was always reasons for it. They cut off my money. They did this. They did that. I'm not even knocking him for it personally. I don't care. It doesn't even matter to me that he ratted. I don't hate rats. But you can't say stuff like that because you don't know. You just found out about Mikey Scars like recently. We've known about him for fucking ever. That fucking documentary came out like 10 years ago, bro. And guess what? We all saw it right then when it came out. I mean, you can't make these fucking claims. And you said Mikey is the only one that has remorse for what he did. No, I will give it to Mikey. He's definitely regretful about what he did. And it seems to be 100% genuine. But how can you say that, bro? How can you say that? Now, if you're talking about being remorseful for ratting, I don't know. I don't personally think anybody should be remorseful for it. Because bottom line is, if you don't tell on them, they're going to tell on you. Eventually. But I lost my train of thought again. It happens to me quite often. A lot of guys, as far as being remorseful for their lifestyles and stuff, you could hear it from a lot of them. A lot of them. There's a lot. Listen to Frank Fiordolino talk about the crimes he committed. He's not proud and he has a whole lot of fucking remorse. Look at Jimmy. We've all seen Jimmy break down in tears because of what he did. Okay, you can't do this. You can't pick your favorite rat and say he's different from the rest of them. You can't. I don't have any problem. I don't give a fuck who's a rat, but I'll tell you right now, everybody that rats. It's all the same. John Jr. is a fucking rat, period. He sat down with the government. That's it. There's no argument. Do you understand? The only argument comes from you fucking obsessed fanboys that are fucking constantly hanging on Angel's every fucking word. John Jr.'s a rat. And I don't think Mikey Scars, I don't know, I haven't listened to everything he said, but I'm assuming he would consider himself to be just like anybody else who ever cooperated. He's a pretty honest guy from what I can tell. But you, when you're trying to kiss ass, I mean, if I would have heard you say one more nice thing about RJ or Mikey, I would have thrown the fuck up. Because it's not genuine coming from you. I know why you're doing it. See, you don't know, Lee, that me and RJ have spoken a dozen times minimum for hours, for fucking hours on the phone. We have a mutual respect for each other. I know about his family. He knows about mine. You know, we know certain things. I know where one of the ways RJ makes a living, where he works, stuff like that. We know each other like that. You understand? And the guy lives 20 minutes from me, and I'm quite sure we'll be getting together soon. When I compliment the dude, I'm complimenting him as a friend. You're complimenting him because you want to get in good with him so you could see your way to Mikey Scars. And I'm quite sure that isn't lost on RJ. All of a sudden, you're praising RJ? You think he doesn't catch that? And Mikey, too. Up until a few days, you were bashing Mikey. Again, another flip-flop move. And then before I bring anyone on, let me get to one last thing. Because this was one of the most ridiculous things I ever heard. Lee said, you remember the scene from Ghost? This is what Lee said. Where the guy on the street, he said he was captured. I swear to God, not captured. He said he was captured. That's a new word. Hillbilly Lee in fucking Texas says he was captured and he was dragged down to hell by the demons. That's going to be you, Sammy. Let me tell you why that's retarded, Lee. You praise John Gotti. You understand that? You praise John Gotti. John Gotti was worse than Sammy, without a doubt. There's no question about it. And I'll tell you why. Because every murder Sammy committed under John Gotti gets credit for. It's like he did it himself. Because Sammy needed his approval. Not to mention all the other killers in the fucking Gambino family. I guarantee, look what Sammy said. He said it perfectly in that Barbara Walters interview. He said, if I got 19, forget about how many Johns got. Yeah. So you can't praise John Gotti and then talk about what a bad guy Sammy is. Now he's going to go to hell. Let me tell you something. If Sammy's going to go to hell, he's going to meet John there because John's already there. Then he said, I don't care if you, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but if you believe in heaven or hell. Lee, let me give you a quick lesson in atheism. If you don't believe in God, you don't believe in heaven or hell. Holy fucking fuckeroni. Jesus Christ, bro. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in heaven or hell. Simple as that. It's funny to me. It's like kid stuff. You know what I mean? I think you die and that's it. That's my opinion. And I have no reason to believe otherwise. People who don't believe in God do not believe in heaven or hell, you stupid ass. Okay? And you demonize the shit out of Sammy, which is fine. I don't give two fucks about Sammy. I really don't. I couldn't care less. Whatever you say about Sammy doesn't affect my pockets one way or the other. But to watch you praise one guy and then talk so terribly about another guy who was doing the same shit he was. And everything you say is ass backwards, bro. Everything you say, like, you know so little. It's astonishing. You said basically that Sammy was just like Mikey Scars. And I guess Mikey said something like this. And you were repeating it, but you probably fucked it all up. That Mikey said he was behind John Gotti as long as just as well as Sammy was, and that Sammy held the umbrella for him. And you said you weren't in front of John Gotti, dude. You were behind him, or you were next to him. First of all, he was holding the umbrella, right? So he wasn't behind him. That would be really awkward. He was next to him. Secondly, a little bit of surveillance footage from the street is not an indicator of John Gotti and Sammy the Bull's relationship. Let me tell you something. John Gotti was that well respected and feared. Whoever he was walking with was going to hold his umbrella. And Sammy was the underboss. Now, I'm not saying Mikey wasn't a big deal. He was a captain. But you cannot compare the two. Sammy was the underboss, the number 2 guy. the Gambino family, what did they have, guys, back then? Maybe, I don't know, 30 captains, something like that at least? How many would you guys say? Trust me, a year ago I knew this information. I forgot it. But at that point in time, there's one underboss, bro. There's a whole lot of captains. You understand that? Mikey and Sammy were not on the same level, not even close. Sammy held the umbrella out of respect for his boss. But he was a fucking major mobster, a stone cold killer, a fucking genius businessman who made millions upon millions of fucking dollars. The guy went into witness protection with $11 million. Okay, yeah, at least 30 capos, without a doubt. Okay, you can't, and I'm not knocking Mikey at all. I'm just saying, regardless of who the two men are, if you're trying to compare one of the many captains in a family to the fucking underboss, that makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. You understand? It's a fucking hierarchy. It's if something happens to John, Mikey Scars doesn't become boss. Sammy does. You understand? He's the number 2 guy. Mikey Scars was 1 out of 30 people. I mean, so it's a ridiculous comparison. You know nothing about how the mafia works, Lee. It's fucking mind-blowing to me. After all this time, you're still so confused. When you say shit like that, do you realize, Lee, that everybody who knows anything about the mafia is laughing about you? Or laughing at you, I'm sorry. Just laughing at you like, wow. Did this motherfucker really just say that? I mean, holy shit, bro. And you got to understand, too, Sammy. And listen, like I said, I give 2 fucks about Sammy. I'm not here to defend him, but what's true is true. What's right is right. I mean, Sammy was a kind of a multifaceted gangster. You know what I mean? This motherfucker was a stone cold killer again. He was responsible for a lot of bodies. John Gotti relied on him to kill these fucking people. Not just him, but he was one of them. And not to mention the money. The money. What was Sammy kicking up? $100,000 a fucking month? How many captains you think were kicking up $100,000 a fucking month? You know what I mean? Like, you don't get it. You don't understand anything. It's hilarious. It's news to you that Mikey Scars was the godfather of John Jr.'s son. I mean, it's fucking. You're the gift that keeps on giving, Lee. You get stupider by the fucking day. I'm convinced of it. Ghost. He uses Ghost, the movie Ghost. You're such a fucking fruit. I swear to God. Why are you watching Ghost? You know, I saw Ghost once when it came out. I was a fucking child. I haven't watched it since. It's a fucking love story. Who, Dexter Morgan? Sammy was taking care of the family while John was playing superstar. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's facts right there, without a doubt. Scars only became a captain once everyone else. Listen, like I said, yeah, well, you speak the truth. Yeah, there's no doubt. I don't want to make this sound like I'm knocking Mikey. I'm not in any way. I'm just speaking facts about the mafia and shit that Lee doesn't understand. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that know this stuff that Lee just doesn't know or understand. He doesn't get it. Oh, yeah, I got you, Dexter. Yeah, I know. He's a fucking dummy. Next, he's going to use the Notebook. Yeah, remember that scene from the Notebook? Dude. Remember that scene from Dirty Dancing? Remember that scene from Steel Magnolias? How about Thelma and Louise, Lee? You remember the scene from Ghost? You know he just got done watching Ghost 10 minutes before he did that stream. Oh, my God. And listen, like I said, it's not just Mikey. There's not many captains you could compare to Sammy the Bull Gravano as underballs. There's just not. It's a bizarre thing to say. I'm sure there's other stuff I'm not remembering, guys, but holy shit. I listen every time I listen to him talk about the mob. I instantly catch 10 or 12 insane things he's saying that make no fucking sense. Guys, let me get a bottle of water. All right, guys. Let me see. I'm going to drop the link, see if anybody wants to join. Guys, please, if you can, donate. Holy shit, there's 220 fucking 7 of you. What's going on with you people? Hold on. Fucking phone cord. If not, don't matter. If somebody joins, cool. If not, I'll just go on. But I'm trying to remember if there's anything else Lee said. I think he brought up, he said some shit about Jeff Nadeau. I think he brought up Mikey kind of defending Angel, which is cool. When he did it, I mistook it I thought he was talking about me. Anytime, you got to understand, anytime somebody says Angel's being attacked, I automatically assume they're talking about me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wait a minute, what? So you're attacking me now? Like, that's how I took it. Yeah, that's what Lee will say next. Guys, remember the scene from Brokeback Mountain? No, but I'm sure you do, Lee. Next, Lee will be quoting Jerry Maguire. Yeah, I love that. No, you'll never catch Lee saying that. No. Maybe show me the money, but never that. Wait, what did who was that? Renee Zellweger? I forget. Who was the actress? What did she say? You had me at something. That's what Lee will quote. You had me at fuck. It was real cheesy. She said it to, I think, Tom Cruise. Let me see. I don't remember that movie too well. You should invite him on and throw him out. Oh. Yeah, Zellweger. I thought so. All right. Well, listen. I don't know if there's anything else. I showed the video. I talked about Lee. I did the Idaho murders thing. I think that's it. But Lee, you're fucking flip-flopping, lying sack of shit. This is why nobody, Lee, I'm telling you, nobody trusts you. Nobody, not on MobTube, not on SlobTube. Nobody fucking trusts you. And this is why, bro, because everything, listen, nobody can be called a flip-flopper compared to you. If they're being compared to you, which they should be, because you are king flip-flopper. I'm the king of MobTube. You're the king of the flip-floppers. Okay? In comparison to you, nobody's a flip-flopper on here. Nobody. You know what I mean? And there's many. You know what I mean? But not like you, bro. You don't even try to offer like a good explanation, you know? And here's what I want to know. Mikey speaks openly. We know factually from mob history that Mikey was a rat, right? How do your friends feel about you talking about him? Oh, sorry, Howie. I probably dropped the one from earlier. How do your friends feel about you speaking so well about him? Because they claim to hate rats, guys. And I know they must be genuine when they say that, right? Can't be that they're full of shit, can it? Let me see Lefty's comment. Yeah, no shit, Lefty. You see the fish? He's the fish. He's a flip-flopper. He's a fish out of water on my thumbnail. Everything you've ever said or everything you say today, there is some proof of you contradicting it or just being a full-blown hypocrite. And nobody believes this I hate rat shit. But back to what I was saying, how do MRE and them feel about this, right? Now, I know Mikey's the one acceptable one because He speaks well of the Gottis. That's how they feel. But see, you can't feel that way. You understand? You can't. You're either full of shit or you hate rats. Lee, you hate rats. I've heard you say it a million times, but you all of a sudden you're speaking so well of Mikey. Why is that? Because you don't give a fuck who's a rat and who's not. You really don't. You're out for Lee, and whoever can help you is good with you. Period. That's it. If Howie got a hold of Lee tomorrow and said, bro, listen, let's bury the hatchet. I want to come on your show. No offense, Howie. I know you'd never do that, hypothetically speaking. Lee would drop everything, and he'd have you on. He'd say, fuck Angel and everyone else. Because Lee will take a view over a friendship any fucking day.
Hey, are you okay tonight? You got me fucking waiting 3 hours, and then I'm in the back, and I'm waiting for another 20 minutes.
What do you mean? 3 hours, an hour and 30 minutes.
I'm joking. Take it easy.
No, I knew you were joking. I was just trying to figure out the numbers. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm all right, bro.
You know what? I want to add something real quick with the Lee shit. He did his show. I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, right? He had a picture of John Jr., Stephen Kaplan, and Mikey Scars, right? He says Mikey Scars implicated Stephen Kaplan and John Jr. Of committing the crime against Curtis Sliwa. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry to say it, Lee, but Stephen Kaplan had nothing to do with that. Okay, it was Mike Inotti and Joe D'Angelo, not Stephen Kaplan. So you owe Stephen Kaplan an apology. How do I know that? Because I grew up in the same neighborhood as them.
Yeah. Howie has some inside knowledge. Lee, you're a fucking mess, bro. I'm telling you, stick to wrestling. You're not good at this. Am I leaving anything out from that ridiculous show? I didn't get to watch today's show.
Yeah, another thing, too. Angel was saying that her brother, she was making a big deal about people retiring from organized crime. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard of some like really old guys in their 80s and 90s, getting away from things and maybe moving to Florida. But they didn't sit down with the government afterwards and cooperate. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
And her brother didn't retire. I mean, we all know that that's a lie. But I'm just saying, let's say by some chance he really did retire, which we all know is not true. He sat down with the government. It doesn't give you an excuse to sit down with the government. No,
not under any circumstances. When Angel says, but he wasn't in the life anymore. So fucking what?
And she keeps saying that she's going to verify me with Donna, Nikki Carrazzo's daughter. Donna happens to be a very nice lady. I know her husband. I know Bernadette. I know her husband. But I haven't seen them, I don't think, since maybe when Rocco got married. All right? And why would they know anything about me? I know all of the kids from over there. Mike and Nadi, Richie LaPena, Sally Lip. Yeah. We used to have barbecues by JoJo's house, all go swimming in the pool. If you're not sure who I am, Angel, I'll tell you who I am. I'm just the guy who grew up with JoJo Carrazzo. And that's it. There's nothing more to really fucking say.
Well, there's a little more.
Yeah, there's a little bit more. Oh
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you weren't just the guy who you grew up with.
I grew up with Joe. I made Ronnie One my partner running the club, okay? Because JoJo asked me to get a partner because I was too busy driving him around and I was neglecting the club. So I suggested Ronnie One. He wasn't straightened out yet. And another thing, I don't know if you meant that I felt the same way about rats or the same way about your family. So you're right. I did hate rats before I became a rat. All right. Well, that was because my last 3 cases was because somebody ratted on me. I make no excuses though. I did what I did, and I make no excuses. As far as loving your family, like you may think, no. I don't know if you know, Angel, but I came from the other side of 101st Avenue, 77th Street. The Carrazzo side. I hate to break it to you, but they were no fans of your family either. Okay,
No.
I seem to remember there was a time when Nicky Carrazzo wanted to kill your brother, Baby Huey. And
Peter.
huh?
Peter.
Peter what?
That's what you're referring to as Baby Huey, right?
No, I'm referring to John Jr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big muscle bound Baby Huey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and and I had no interest in being any of your family's friends because I didn't need to. There was no reason for me to kiss ass like everybody else. I was with the Carrazzos, and that's it. I stayed on my side, and they stayed on their side. The only people in your family that I knew really well was your Uncle Peter, who passed away, and your Uncle Vincent. That was it. What else you might want to know? I'm not as young as you think I am. I'm 56. So maybe that'll
Is she
help you out a
doubting your
little bit.
story? Is she doubting your story?
Yeah.
Oh my god. She's such an asshole. And another thing, Lee, is Lee referring to you as a hanger on? Doesn't he do that?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Right. We
Yeah.
weren't guys like us. We weren't able to talk to guys like Mikey Scars. Well, I got news for you. The guys that I was
Lee.
talking to were above Mikey Scars.
Yeah. Do you know what it means, Lee, to have been Jojo Carrazzo's fucking driver? No, you don't, because you know nothing about the mob. Not just anybody gets that fucking position. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ, how we help
you. You all right?
God, I just can't take anymore, Lee. He's such a fucking dummy. I can't believe there's a person this stupid that I am being forced to share the earth with. It's not fair.
Oh yeah, real quick before I forget. Mike Coletta, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and Lee hit the like button.
Yeah, and Lee hit the like button. And you too, Angel.
Mikey Scar said recently that people like Jimmy Brown and Thomas Gambino popped champagne when Gotti got life. That tells you a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah. I never even had a conversation with Mikey Scars. Did I see him at a couple of funerals? Yeah. But I never spoke to him. So just in case they get a little mixed up and think I'm trying to say like I knew him or something. No, I didn't. I never met your father. I guess I was a little bit too young. But I did drop off JoJo by the Ravenite a few times and saw him standing outside. But I was still a whippersnapper. But I did break bread with your Uncle Peter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what she thinks she's gonna find out about you. Like,
And your
everybody's
Uncle Peter
there.
was at my my child's baptism. Yeah, my ex still has the video. I don't have it.
Isn't it funny that she'll take Chicky seriously as some sort of gangster, but she's like, I'm gonna check up on you. My father came to me in a dream, Howie, and said you're nobody. I'm gonna ask my who's she gonna ask?
I never claimed to be anybody special, but I did a lot of fucking things that some of the so-called special guys never even did.
Yeah. Lee says that Howie and Frank weren't even associates, even though that's exactly what they were. The guy has no mob knowledge. Lee, again. Oh, God. I can't. Lee, do you understand?
I lived, breathed, and shit that life. All of my fucking life. But the thing is our club was on 77 and 101st Avenue. John's club was on 98th Street and 101st Avenue. What people don't understand is that really I guess all the insiders knew the Carrazos, they weren't fans of the Gotti family. Okay, they were just being smart and doing what they needed to do to eventually take over, which is what they did.
Yeah, they're being
Okay.
diplomatic.
Yeah, Jojo made sure he was close with John. He was his driver. You know how that expression goes, right? You keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, you know, I believe I believe Nikki wanted to get rid of your brother at some point in time, and I do believe that is true. Although I never met Andrew DiDonato. I'm sure he's telling the truth. I probably crossed paths with him, but we never had a conversation, which I'm surprised because I know Mikey and Adi, Mario, Sally Lip, Richie LaPena, and a few other guys that hung out by Nikki's club on Avenue L. When there was like barbecues by Joe's house, the kids from Nikki's club and the kids from JoJo's club, everybody, would go attend the barbecue, go in the pool, whatever. That's the way it was. But it was always like split, like it was like the Carrazos and the Gottis, and and the reason why I don't like your brothers Angel is because they ran around the neighborhood, okay, bullying people, telling people, you know who my father is, you know who I am. I think they coined that expression, okay. Your older brother was running around with Johnny A Light, okay. Yeah, he was best friends with Johnny A Light. Johnny A Light did a lot of work for John Jr. Okay, Johnny A Light was the tough guy out of the two. And you can't say it's not true. Johnny A Light baptized one of Johnny A Light. I mean, your brother baptized one of Johnny A Light's kids. Okay, they had a cake, a going away cake with a picture of a prisoner on it when Johnny A Light was going to go away to jail. And I believe your brother's in the picture, Tommy Sneakers, and your Uncle Peter. Okay, there's videos of Johnny A Light walking out of your house. How can you say the kid had nothing to do with your family? Now, to the extent of what he had to do with your father, I wouldn't know that, so I can't speak on that. But do I know that he was partners with your brother and running around the neighborhood doing all kinds of things, violent things to people? Yeah. And then when your little brother got old enough, he was doing the same thing, driving around to the different hangouts and bullying people because he was John Gotti's son. But one thing I'll tell you, they never came to our side of 101st Avenue to pull that shit.
Ain't that something?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember hearing a story. Um, One time, I wasn't there, and it might have been like a little bit before I was actually hanging out there. But supposedly, John Jr. was starting trouble on the corner, um, and Johnny Bino kicked him in his ass and sent him on his way. And then supposedly Angelo Ruggiero. I know Angelo Ruggiero was one of the guys. I don't remember who the other two guys were. They came to the corner and they knocked Dougie Do Nothing's tooth out of his mouth. Then, from what I understand the story, Nicky Carrazzo was furious and he went down to the Bergen, and I don't know what happened, but I guess to give them a piece of his mind because you're not supposed to go in another guy's club and start trouble. And that was the end of it. Nobody ever saw your brother again starting trouble on that corner.
Well, I just need you to help me understand, Howie. I need everybody to help me, please, because I'm at my wit's end. How do we have, out of all the MobTube content creators, all the people on here, most of which are, I'd say most of which are Italian, almost all have pretty, a lot of knowledge about the mob. How do we have still this big fucking hillbilly who, after 18 goddamn months, still doesn't know the simplest thing about the mafia? Like, you don't know who Jojo Corazzo was, and even if you did, do you understand what being his driver meant? I mean, do you know any fuck? Do you understand? How could you say how he was not an associate? That they were at one point.
I spent holidays at his house eating with his family.
Yeah, at one point they wanted to fucking change his birth certificate so he could be made. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about?
That was what a maid guy and Ronnie's nephew told me. So, I'm just going by what they said. What I experienced personally is sitting in a restaurant waiting for a guy by the name of Jamesy to come meet Jojo, and Jojo told me, this was in like 2001, I believe. He said, "I wish I can straighten you out."
Yeah.
But that was the end of it because I couldn't be straightened out.
No, yeah. I mean, and Frank too, like, you're still convinced Frank was some fucking coffee boy, but what do? You just pick an article, read it, and then you're done researching? I mean,
yeah, I got one more thing to say, then I'm going to touch on Frank.
All right.
One of the guys was Tony Muscatello, who told me he's actually a wise guy right now. And probably Little John, Ronnie's nephew. As far as Frankie, you want to make fun of Frankie? Let me tell you something. If Frankie never cooperated, he would be a wise guy right now. Okay, Frankie's family runs deep into Sicily. Okay, and he's got uncles and all kinds of relatives that were heavyweights. He made his decision, so he never got. He wasn't around long enough to get that opportunity, but eventually he would have got it. Yeah. You want to call him a coffee boy? Okay, coffee boy that shoots people in the head.
Yeah, I know. He's such a fucking dummy, bro. He's like, not only does he kiss the asses of whatever person he picks for the week, but he turns them into the Godfather and turns everyone else into the guy's minions. Like, you don't understand anything, Lee. I'm telling you. I used to think the fact that you can't say words and shit was just something quirky about you, but now I'm starting to realize that you're just a fucking retard in general. I mean, 100%, bro. You can't think straight. You don't comprehend things. You don't understand. You don't take in information well. What a fucking dope.
He doesn't know. Listen. The guy, I would at least expect him to do some fucking research and read something. Maybe go on Gangland, read some stories. Maybe just Google people's names. Just learn something. And believe me, not everything isn't always true that you read in the newspapers, but for the most part, you'll get a general idea. He doesn't even do that. The fucking guy has no idea what the life is even about or how. See, you know why we enjoy coming on here and bullshitting and laughing and telling war stories? Because that's what we did all our lives, hanging around the club, bullshitting. Maybe we committed like 150 felonies a day with our mouths. Just talking day-to-day nonsense. Who's got a problem with who? Who's got a score? Or just regular bullshit. And it's been a long time since I spoke to anybody that I had anything in common with, and I enjoy coming on here and shooting the shit. But evidently,
Yes.
you can't go on the site and shoot the shit with people because you got people like fucking Angel and Angel's channel and Lee Cole, bad mouthing you.
Yeah, well, you know why? Like I said, there's a number of different reasons, but at least with Lee, it's for no other reason than the fact that he doesn't have you on his side. That's it. That's all there is to it. Common sense, $9.99. Thank you so much, bro. I'm gonna look at some comments real quick.
Yeah, and here's another true story. Okay, and this was when I'm not sure if your father had gotten locked up yet or not, but when I was bookmaking, I had a kid by the name of Tony Muscatello and Carmine Cascone working for me. Your little brother Peter called in and lost 5,000, and I had told them not to take your brother's action, so I made them pay. And I evidently they were asking your brother Peter for the money, and your brother Peter made up a story saying that they were talking to his girlfriend. Anyway, your brother Peter uh, broke Tony Muscatello's jaw, who's now a wise guy, and stabbed Carmine Cascone. Only because he can do whatever he wants, and 99.9% of the people aren't going to raise their hands because he's John Gotti's son. So that doesn't make him a tough guy, okay? But what I did tell the guys, if you want, let's put on ski masks, sit on them, pipe them up, and nobody will know who did it. The kid's got a fucking 1,000 enemies in the neighborhood. But they weren't willing to do it. So if they weren't willing to do it, I wasn't going to do it. True story. Tell your brother to go ask Tony Muscatello.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story, bro. Everybody I talked to from either Ozone Park or Howard Beach, they told me the same thing about those fucking kids. You know what I mean? Peter and John Jr. There were a bunch of fucking bullies who constantly were telling people exactly what you said. You know who my father is, and they would start fights and fuck people up and everything because they knew that the people could not hit them back. You know what I mean? Like I asked somebody one time, was Peter a tough guy? And he said, would you be tough if your father was John Gotti?
Yeah, I
Simple
think I
as
told
that.
you that.
Yeah, you and someone else, John.
Yeah,
And
there was also another guy who was saying he was the toughest guy in the neighborhood. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I know, bro.
Yeah.
But,
But
shit.
yeah,
Look
nobody, what's his name said it the best. What's Chaz Palminteri in the movie Bronx Tale? Nobody loved that family. Nobody fucking they feared them. That's what it was. I mean, you had no choice but to love John Jr. and Peter because of who their father was. You had no choice but to love John Sr. And let me tell you something, that life is nothing but fucking backstabbing anyway. They'd be hanging out with your father, toasting, having a few drinks, and then they'd be bad-mouthing them as soon as they leave the table.
Yeah. John DeLuca, I said his name and he fucking popped up. It's amazing. John DeLuca, $49.99. Thank you so much, bro. I needed that tonight. I don't know what's going on. I got 226 people. I made a total of like, I don't even, $30 in cash. And this is terrible, guys. I'm going to have to,
I saved you
start
some
digging
time,
graves or something. Huh?
I saved you some time, Angel. You don't have to go bother Nikki Carrazzo's daughter and ask her about me. I mean, I doubt she would even know anything about me anyway. Maybe I seen her at the last place I saw her at was Rocco Carrazzo's wedding. I wasn't the type of guy to talk to women that were with other men. Unlike somebody else we know.
Yeah. Yeah. John DeLuca said never bullied me around.
No, absolutely not. I never said that.
No. He's just saying, like, of all the people
But
that
he knows.
tried that,
But
bullshit
he
with.
knows what I'm talking about. But
Yeah, oh yeah, bro. John has told me that. He told me that same thing about them. You know what I mean? He told me that in the past. Let's see. Didn't the Gambino family eventually shelve everyone that was connected to Gotti? No, I don't think so. That's what they
That's what it
say.
seemed like. But there are, I believe, Richie Jr. Gotti is still a wise guy.
Oh, he is.
His father was shelved. Vinny was shelved. Peter passed away. But you know, Peter was a good guy. I don't care what anybody says about him. Peter Gotti, he was a good guy. Nice, down to earth guy. You know, there was no you know, he didn't portray himself like a movie star.
And of course, you're talking about the older Peter Gotti, not the son. People
Oh
get
yes,
confused.
yes, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. What other brothers? What is it? Richie, Vinny.
Richie, Vinny, Gene.
Oh yeah,
Peter.
when Gene was locked up, he took 30 years. I mean, he took 50 years because he couldn't take a plea. He had to go to trial. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it again that made him take the or made him go to trial? I can't remember.
His brother. Well,
Yeah,
you hear John Sr. explaining to John Jr. why he shouldn't take a plea. All right? He says, you take a plea, they're just going to keep coming after you, keep coming after you. He believed in going to trial and just beating the whole case.
Yep.
I mean, I really didn't know what he meant, but because no matter what, they're just going to keep coming after you anyway, you know. But he felt it was better if you won at trial than taking a plea. And another thing too, okay, a lot of people don't say, okay, another rule is you don't admit to the existence of Cosa Nostra, okay, by John Jr. saying that he quit the mob is acknowledging the existence of organized crime.
Absolutely.
So that's a rule broken there. And then he sat down with the government and profit. Joe Watts couldn't get bail because of him. He had to take a plea because of him. Danny Marino had to take a plea because of him. And he knows darn well that that's true because your brother was smart. I'll give him that. He hired Charles Canisi, who was Danny Marino's attorney.
Yep.
Just to keep him from saying anything about, what happened.
Yeah. Let me see. And that's the exact thing Angel uses to prove that Danny Marino didn't take a plea because of John G. Charles Canisi was Danny Marino's lawyer. This fuck. Oh, that was MRE's voice. My bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They sound similar.
Yeah, they do. Common Sense 999. Yeah, the MRE sounds like a fat, raggedy old cat lady too. Thank you, Common Sense.
I'm just looking at the chat now. What's up, John? How are you? There's a whole bunch of other people that said hello. I'm sorry I wasn't looking at the chat. No, hello to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Yes, I did know Jerry Bruno.
Thank you, Carmine.
Big Head. I'm not exactly sure who you're talking about, Big Head.
I think he's talking about me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Jerry Bruno, I know him since he's a baby.
Yeah.
He shot Marty Boss out in the head.
It's funny how so many of the stories you tell end up like that. Somebody getting shot in the head.
That's the way it is, Like I listen. I'll be honest with. I mean, I was very lucky. Okay, 2 guys I tried to kill, they lived, and I thank whatever source there is upstairs, that they didn't die, because I had a different mind frame back then, and I'm glad that I don't have 2 dead people on my mind right now.
I hear that, bro. Let me thank you, Carmine. Ghetto Press Productions, $10. Thank you so much, bro. SL Gordon 3, 1999. You're awesome, man. Thank you for helping me out. John DeLuca, another $49.99. I love you, bro. I appreciate that so much. Same guys donating always. I wish we'd get some new
That
people
reminds
donating.
me.
You know what I mean?
Angel was talking about John DeLuca in her chat. She was saying that he knows better to be on this channel with all the rats. And she kept saying, "You know why, John? You know why."
Yeah,
So
well,
just give
I
you
know
a
what
heads up, John.
yeah, I know what she means by that, but
Yeah.
yeah, do you think John DeLuca gives a fuck? Let me tell you something. He doesn't.
I know he
I'm,
doesn't. That's why he's here.
yeah, I'm sure he's about to tell you he doesn't give a fuck.
As
You know,
soon,
she just
as soon as I seen him, as soon as I seen his name and you know, coming on your show, I know right away he doesn't give a fuck.
no, he
He's
doesn't.
smart. He's
Yeah.
realized that there's nothing left in that life.
Now, listen, John and me have had a bunch of phone conversations over the last, I don't know, I'm going to say about a year. He's always supported me. He got me some of my biggest fucking interviews. The guy is awesome. He's an awesome dude. You know what I mean? And he don't give a fuck. He's always been a friend to me. He supports me. He don't care what they say. Look.
And he's always had that attitude. And
Yeah,
that's
he said,
why
fuck her. I am my own man.
yeah. And he's always had that attitude. That's why you know, some of my friends didn't care for him only because he was his own man, you know. I'm sure he knows that. He can tell you that.
Yeah.
I never had anything against him. I always got along with him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. Well, he's like also like a few years younger than me, so you know, like I said, that means a lot when you're younger. You know, like he grew up with a different generation.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a little bit. I think he's about, I want to say 10 years younger than you. I think.
46?
I think so. Isn't that right, John? Aren't you 46? I'm pretty sure it's what he told me before. Let's see what he said.
Yeah, I know he's younger. I'm just not sure how much.
Yeah. I think, yeah, he said, yeah, 46. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. 10 years. Forget about it. That's a whole fucking lifetime. You know, no, I'm serious. You know, when you're,
no, I know what you mean.
When I'm 25 years old running around in the streets, he was only 15. You know.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. But I want to make something clear because I heard Angel. Somebody told me that Angel's going off on me in her channel, or was at the beginning of her show, and she's again threatening with the lawsuit. What else is she saying, Howie?
I didn't get to I turned it on late, rewind it, caught a couple of the beginning part, and then as soon as your show came on, I switched over. But I did hear her saying, she was saying, but I already told you. I forgot. 5 minutes later, I forget everything.
No, me too. I just want to make it. Yeah, that's how I forgot what you told me.
Yeah.
But I want to make it clear, Angel, you're so unimportant. You've turned yourself into just another troll channel. I've gotten to the point with you where I realize I only need to address you when I have no other content. Like tonight, I had a lot of shit to talk about. I'm not even going to address you. You're not even important to me. You know what I mean? At all. So I'm not even going to go back at you tonight because I wanted to talk about the Idaho murders thing. I wanted to talk about Lee. I wanted to get Howie on here. And we're doing that. I don't even give a fuck what you're doing. That's how unimportant you've become on this whole thing.
And
you got fucking 80 live viewers regularly. Go ahead. Sorry.
I have a little message for her too.
What's
Angel, do yourself a favor, okay? I'm sure you're going to be pissed off when you hear all of this, right? Don't come at me with lying and saying that somebody told you that I was a nobody and you spoke to Nikki's daughter and she said that I was a nobody, that I'm lying. I know you're capable of doing that. All right. Don't come at me, Angel. I know too many people close to your family. Okay. There's a lot of things that I'm not saying. Just remember that.
Yes, sir.
What's
I know
up,
that to be true.
My man.
Hey, what's up, Hal? What's up, FPS?
What's up, bro? Davis Dean said even Marla was bashing you, bro. Marla is even less important than Angel. Seriously.
Yeah,
So who gives a fuck?
I got
Yeah.
3 words for her. Just shut up.
Yeah, she's got a, again, I have her entire case, bro. Like, this is a woman who wouldn't take her own fucking son to the doctor when he was having asthma attack. She's an absolute piece of shit. She's not worth addressing. They're all trash over there. But if I'm bored and I have no content, I'll be glad to just demolish both of them. What's up, Common?
No, not much. I was just gonna I didn't catch the whole show. I was on the road or whatever, but I was just gonna let chime in on when you were asking what she was saying on her show, because I caught a few minutes of it, right?
Yeah.
She tried bringing up the thing about the show she did when she talked about what had happened to your wife and how her son found out about it, and she was trying to say that you were lying about it, and that you were the one that told everybody about it because of what John Alite had said on his show. And she was trying to say that it wasn't her that first said anything. He didn't hear it from her. He heard it from John Alite. And then everybody in the chat and Marla's like, "Oh yeah, that's what happened. It was Alite that said it, not me." But she's an idiot, because Alite only mentioned something about how would you feel if something like this happened to you. He didn't know about it. She's the one that put that shit on her fucking show. Alite never spoke nothing about it, you idiot.
Yeah, and I'm going to defend Alite here. He couldn't have talked about it if he wanted to. He had no. How the fuck would Alite know? It's a story Shanna told months and months after Alite made that comment. Get the fuck out of here, you lying bitch.
But this is how they take little things and they twist it and shit. She didn't want to play the full fucking clip of what was actually said, but she tells all her people that, and they fucking run with it and act like it was true. She's a fucking moron.
I just want to say, hold on, let me look for something, see if I have it. I don't have it uploaded anymore, son of a bitch. But let me look at this comment. Thank you, Diversity Training with MRE. Marla called Shanna a heifer. Well, you know my rule, Angel. If any of your fucking panel or you talk about my wife, you know what's going to happen, right? So let's talk about your fucking cross-eyed bitch daughter for a little while and how she was fucking people and blowing guys for fucking oxy out of a goddamn motel room. And your other son, Frankie, is a fucking junkie heroin addict who's been in and out of rehab his whole youth, and even robbed you for money so he could buy more heroin. Let's talk about them a little bit. Since Marlo wanted to call my wife a heifer. See, I wouldn't have said a thing, Angel. You know what I mean? But I could do, if you'd like, I'll just do a whole show on Victoria. You want me to talk about, what do you want me to talk about? Where she works and all that? What do you want me to say? How about Frankie? You want me to talk about where he works and all that? You want me to really divulge some information? I told you, bitch, keep my wife's name out of your mouth and make sure that every fucking buddy on your channel does the same. All right, guys,
what about her nephew flooding the neighborhood with OxyContin?
Oh, yeah. How about your scumbag fucking nephew that committed a bullshit arson and flooded the whole fucking Howard Beach with fucking with drugs? How about that? How about I don't even want to get into that because I'd be straight accusing him of something. But how about that? Your scumbag fucking nephew or your other scumbag fucking nephews and your pig fucking sister. How about that? You want me to just continue to go on and on and on? Do I have to remind everybody that you have an uncle that raped and killed a woman in a hotel because she insulted your fucking Uncle Peter? How about that? How far do we have to go, Angel?
Well, you know what else is gross too? They were attacking, they were attacking Don Berlin earlier too when he came on to speak, during your addiction and recovery shows, and they're calling everybody, addicts and fucking junkies and all that shit. While Marla's on there saying, "Oh, I need to open up another beer for this right now," and she's on there every fucking night, pretty much wasted. We've heard her multiple times asking her husband to bring her more fucking beers and shit. You know what I mean? And then it's like, why are you gonna go and when FBS is doing an addiction and recovery show, truly trying to help people and share a story, they're on here trying to bash people that are trying to help other people. You know what I mean? They're fucking miserable. You know what I'm saying? Why would you do that? Well, I don't get it.
Absolutely. Hey, John, what she said was, and I'm terrible, I might say it wrong, but she said she heard that you were over here giving super chats to the Rat channel, and she said that you should know better. And she said that you know why. That's what she said. But you can, if you want, you can just go watch the beginning of her show. She says all of that shit right in the beginning. John.
Sorry, I got to mute myself for a second because I have to do something on here real quick.
No, you're good.
But yeah, what else did you hear, Common? Because you have a better memory than me.
Yeah, I was only able to catch probably like 15 minutes or something. I was on the road, but they were bringing up, they were going after Nadeau and saying that people were flip flopping and that, her you can walk away from the life, and they were trying to play like old clips of people saying it, and then Marla was chiming in, acting like she doesn't know anything about it when you could tell she's like a mob groupie. She fucking reads all the articles. She watches every fucking show Sammy does. She was acting stupid like she didn't know about it, and then started, reciting people that, other guys testified against and all this shit. I just find it's so hypocritical,
Yeah, she named a group of people that allegedly retired, and like how the fuck would she know if they retired?
Yeah.
And another thing, I don't think any of those guys who retired did a profit with the government.
No, definitely not.
Afterwards.
Definitely
So
not.
then, well, you know what? Now I just realized something. FBS, I'm not a rat, right? Because I had nothing to do with the life when I decided to do what I did.
Well, yeah, then she was trying to bring up the Francis thing, saying that, I heard he walked away from the life, and, who did he really rat on? And then Angel was like, oh, well, I did hear that he testified in one trial because he got subpoenaed or whatever. But just because you get subpoenaed doesn't mean you need to testify.
Oh, yeah. Lee Cole said, no, Angel, Mikey Francis is a rat.
Yeah.
And he made an argument why Michael Francis was a rat. And she was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, because they were trying to make up an excuse that, you can walk away, and they were trying to bring up examples of people, but the people they're bringing up fucking cooperated and testified during trial. So there goes your argument right there.
She won't say anything about Michael Franzese because it's just like Mikey Scars. Mikey Franzese is very, very close with her mother. I have messages of me telling her that, and Angel herself said she loves Mikey Franzese. So again, it's not about rats. It's not. But you want to see something?
And I have a quick question, FBS.
What?
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna say that. Oh my God, she's looking at Howie and FBS at the same time.
Look at Victoria's fucking eyes. She is, bro. Look, she's looking up at me and she's looking over. Actually, I think she's trying to look at me with both eyes. By the way, Angel, you could thank Marla for this, and you too, if you talked about my wife tonight. And Marla, I've seen pictures of you, you raggedy old bitch. You shouldn't be calling anyone a heifer. I know the filter pictures and I know the ones without one, and you're not an attractive lady by any stretch of the imagination. Look at these fucking eyes on this fucking dummy. Could you imagine what life has to be like? You're running into doors all the time and shit. Look at this one. This fucking guy. Look at the eyes in this fucking family. Look at this
baby Huey.
Yeah, look at that smile. Fucking creep. Fucking eyes looking in at his nose. Both of them.
Hey, FBS, didn't you say that her mom goes after Trump online and is a big liberal and a Democrat?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what Big Tex thinks about that. I wonder why he doesn't ever call her a lefty or fucking go after her for her political views.
Because he doesn't stand for anything either. Look at this one. Jesus Christ. It runs in the face.
He's a good guy, but Peter.
Yeah, I know, but you understand what I have to do here.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Let's talk about you. So Marla called my wife a heifer. So why don't we talk about Angel's mother? You know what I mean? About the fact that her mother still praises a guy who fucked other women behind her back, had children to other women, and even slapped her and her son around when they wanted to go visit Quack Quack in the hospital when he was dying of cancer. How about the fact that your fucking mother insisted on having a man killed who did nothing but try, and unfortunately for both people involved, hit a kid on a mini bike who wasn't being supervised by your mother or your fucking father. And she insisted on having him killed. She made her husband kill the guy, cut him in half with a fucking chainsaw. What about
And
that,
let-
Angel? How much
and
do we
let-
have to talk about your family to make my point, Angel?
And let's just be honest too, this whole fucking, situation with Alan Kaiser, as tragic as it is, the only reason that she brings that up or even says anything about that is because Sammy cooperated. If Sammy never flipped, she wouldn't say a fucking word about it. She could care less,
Absolutely.
That's the God's honest truth.
There's no doubt about it. John DeLuca, thank you again, my friend. Another $49.99. That's Angel. That's what John DeLuca thinks about your fucking warning.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
she
what he
did.
thinks.
She did make a big deal about him donating.
There
She
you go.
did?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, on the show she was saying something?
She
No, I
said
didn't
that
know
John DeLuca donates to the Rat Channel.
Well, that's funny because she used to donate all the time too. And when she said, "Oh, when
Yeah,
people give
yeah.
me shit, I'll donate more. You're not going to tell me who to donate to. That'll make me give him
Absolutely.
more money."
Yeah,
She
and
said about that.
Hey,
I just
Common,
want to.
you go ahead.
No, I just want to point out that we have 265 people watching, and Angel Gotti, the stepdaughter of John Gotti, has 117 people watching. Just wanted to point that out. Go ahead.
Oh
Howard.
yeah, okay. Hey, Common, you mentioned that the people she named that retired cooperated.
Yeah.
Which ones are you talking about?
Well, no, she had brought up, Michael Francis as one of the people that supposedly walked away from the life because she was trying to make this big argument that, people say you can't walk away, but my brother did,
Well, the reason why I was asking is because she mentioned like Raymond Patriarca.
Oh yeah, she mentioned the son. She mentioned Raymond Patriarca Jr., but he was chased. They were going to kill him.
Okay.
He didn't just walk away because he wanted to. They were going to kill him. They had no respect for the son.
She mentioned somebody else too. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know she said Raymond Patriarca Jr. Then they mentioned Francis, and I don't remember the other one they named, but she's speaking about stuff she doesn't know anything about. Because if she looked into it, she would find out why that Junior walked away and why he wasn't in the life anymore. It wasn't because he fucking wanted to,
She said he quit.
Yeah, he quit. Yeah.
He turned in his resignation.
Ridiculous, bro. Fucking absurd.
I don't know. Maybe Mikey Scars will start saying that next week that he quit too, so he didn't rat. He walked away and quit too. I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
John Jr. said he had a weak moment.
Yeah, look, everybody could say that from now on. They could be like, you know what? I might have ratted, but you don't know that I made a promise to myself a week before that I was leaving the life. So for at least a whole week before I ratted, I was no longer part of that life. I consider myself retired. I almost said retired.
I quit too.
Howie quit before he did anything too. So Howie, you're in the clear, bro.
Well, technically, I had nothing to quit because I was never made.
Yeah,
true.
I didn't take an oath.
I just want somebody to tell me one person who was an acting boss in a family that walked away that didn't walk away because they fucking cooperated. There's no such thing. Especially a person that was in his position with all the information he would know. They don't let you walk away. They kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, bro.
What's on that guy's mind?
And then they say that he shelved himself. Now, I would think that that's pretty fucking dangerous because you shelve yourself. How do you know they're just going to let you shelve yourself and not kill you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't.
That's what part of, I always looked at it like that. I mean, when he took that meeting, in essence, I said it in hindsight saying basically by him sitting down with the feds, he shelved himself. But in reality, yeah, technically he shelved himself, but he also would have gotten shelved if not killed because he sat down with the feds to begin with. That's the bottom line.
He happened to catch it at the right time, just at the time where most of the killers were all in jail and they were already, thinking about not killing people anymore.
And I'll tell you another thing. I think the only fucking reason he didn't get killed is because he had just had that meeting. It was so fresh. And at that point, they were already slowing down on the murders and stuff. I don't think they would have let him live if it was 10 years fucking earlier. But they didn't know what he put in his 302s. They didn't know. You know what I mean? So it'd be pretty fucking risky to kill John Gotti Jr. right after that meeting. And I mean, by right after, I mean even a year or two. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't know if you guys agree, but
well, the other thing too is that, you know, when people sit down with the feds, they're not videotaping or recording your conversations with them. So at the end of the day, I mean, he could have gave a whole bunch of other information too that they just didn't write down in that 302. That's only, you know, the notes and stuff that they wrote after their meeting, which I think they didn't even memorialize until like a year later, from what I remember. So the meeting had happened, and then that memorandum, the 302 memo, didn't even come out until 2006. I believe he went in 05 and did that. So there's no way to know exactly everything that he said or everything that he did, just what they had written down, you know? But when she says stuff like, oh, he only did 5 pages. Well, you know what? He shouldn't even have had 1 page. What do you mean only 5 pages? What the fuck does that mean? I couldn't even believe when she said that.
And then she agreed one night with Lee Cole that if you tell a story about your father killing someone, but even though he's dead, she agreed with Lee Cole that he's still a rat. They were talking about Anthony Ruggiano. But isn't that what John Jr. did when he put his father on with Joe Watts, their first hit together?
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but look at this. You know, I brought this up before, but look at the situation with Willie Boy Johnson. You know, they never got paperwork on him. They didn't have any information. He was cooperating secretly for about 20 years until he got outed in court. And guess what? He never testified against anybody. He went to trial. They beat the trial that they were in, and he still got killed for it 3 years later. You know, what he did is way worse than that. What's so funny?
Look at the John DeLuca, bro. Angel, once again, Angel, you are such a fuck up. Once again, you fucking shot yourself in the foot, and you gave me a nice gift. You tell people don't donate, they donate. You fucking threaten John DeLuca with donating to my show. He's gonna donate more. And thank you, John DeLuca. Thank you.
Hey, put his comment back up. John DeLucas.
There you go.
I think it says, Angel, I grew up around some real men, still do, and I'm just me. Howie knows. Grow up, Angel, and keep my name out of your mouth. I think that's what he meant, right?
Yeah. That's the way I read it. Absolutely,
yeah.
And listen, if John could, he would come on here and give his opinion about that fucking raggedy broad too. Trust me.
Listen, I don't expect. I mean, you know, John does what he wants to do, but you know, you know, I don't want him. I wouldn't want him to put himself in jeopardy just to make a point.
Steve Dunban said John Jr. made a fantastic move. Imagine walking away and still being rich to do whatever you want. Yeah, I disagree again. It's one thing to walk away, and they let him walk away. You know what I mean? But then he became a rat because some cases came back to haunt him. You know what I mean? So it's pure luck, I think, and timing that he wasn't fucking killed for what he did. There's no way. The argument that he did this so he would get shelved doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't, because they common sense and how we were just saying. Yeah, he might have done it with the intention of shelving himself. He did shelve himself even before that, actually. You know what I mean? Long before he did those 302s, but he didn't do it with the intention of them shelving him, because he wouldn't have known if they were going to kill him or not. He wasn't. If he wasn't trying to take a chance of going to prison, you'd think he was going to take a chance with being killed. No fucking way. It's no way. Absolutely. And listen, let me tell you, he got to keep his properties and stuff, but he went fucking damn near bankrupt after those fucking trials. You know, he had nothing. So he's lucky he got to hold on to those properties. He
and you want to know something?
Around anymore.
You know, she talks about how everybody keeps putting her father's name in their mouth, looking for clout. You know, I'd like to see what would have happened to her brother and the rest of her family if it wasn't for their father's last name. Who would her brother made a movie about to get back on his feet?
Yeah.
Who the fuck would be even fucking watching her YouTube channel if it wasn't for her father's last name?
Who would have fucking watched Growing Up Gotti?
My point isn't that you can't use your father's name. My point is is that none of you stand on your own 2 feet. You use the Gotti name to stand up.
Yep.
Well,
Absolutely.
another thing I noticed that all of a sudden she started saying today was that when she comes on here and defends her family, she's only defending her father as her father, not as, her father, the mob boss. Well, that's not true, and I think she's only saying that now because I think Mikey Scars had made that comment in his video. You know what I mean? But she's
Right.
in here defending him as a mob boss because she won't even admit or take accountability for any of the stuff that the guy did.
Well, yeah. Well, Lee Cold fucking put a guy on a murder that he had nothing to do with. He said Stephen Kaplan, Mikey Scars ratted on Stephen Kaplan and John Jr. in the attempted murder, right? Not murder, attempted murder of Curtis Sliwa. Stephen Kaplan had nothing to do with that case, and if he would have just fucking read a little bit, he would have known that.
Yeah, that was between Yanati and Joey
Mike.
D'Angelo.
Yeah, Mike Yanati and Joe D'Angelo. Yeah,
I don't know
Joe
where he came up
D'Angelo
with that.
cooperated. Yeah, when I heard him say that, I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like 99% sure he was wrong, but I checked just to make sure, and he is wrong.
And didn't Kaplan wind up cooperating too?
No, that was a different Kaplan.
Oh, he's talking about
That
another
was
one?
the Kaplan
Okay.
with the strip clubs.
Yeah, with the Gold Club. Yeah, the Gold Club case. Yeah.
Right. Stephen Kaplan was a childhood friend of John Jr.'s. He grew up in Howard Beach.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
well,
I also might be the only guy that her brother sent for and never showed up.
Oh, really?
Because her when I had a problem in the Harbor Club, the Harbor Club was with her brother, and he sent Stephen Kaplan and Anthony Amoroso, I believe. He sent for me. I never had to go to see him.
Wow.
I don't know how many people can say that. The great almighty Gottis. I'm sure he remembers that too.
What are you reading up, yes? You got something coming up?
No, I'm writing a text to somebody. It's very important. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about something I have to. Unfortunately, listen, I don't think people understand how serious I am when I say that if you don't stop talking about my family, I'm going to make your fucking life miserable. I don't think you understand that shit. You know what I mean? So I didn't hear everything they said tonight, but just from what I heard, this is not over. I'm gonna fucking make Angel. I'm gonna have her in tears. You know what I mean? Because she thinks that she can just bash my family and nothing will be said about hers. When she's already shown us that, mentioning her family drives her insane, especially certain members of it. So I don't want to do this shit. I don't like it. I was perfectly happy we weren't mentioning each other's families, but you won't fucking stop. So I got to do what I got to do. And she doesn't even understand. She was probably told that I bashed Victoria and Frankie yesterday or the day before. Yeah, I did that in response to something you had done. I didn't just come out and do that. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, she had made a comment that she hasn't mentioned or even spoken about you in over 2 weeks, and you still have to talk and bring her up.
Oh, I don't think there's been one night she hasn't spoken about me. She's a fucking liar.
Right. Well, I know that's like they're so delusional. They forget like the shit that they talk about and the stuff that people on their shows talk about. And she tried to say that it doesn't matter if I do or I don't. They're going to continue talking about me, but the bottom line is that that's not true.
Yeah, no, it's not. And even if we did, it would be about her, not her family. But you bring my family, Angel, we could either fight with each other, not fight at all, or you bring my family into it and I have to bring yours into it. So I got to give you a quick reminder about how bad that hurt you last time it happened. That's all. It's my lesson for the day.
Well, now it's not just her daughter suing you, it's her daughter and her son.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
That's what
say
you said.
she brought up something about the Borello lawsuit too, and said that he should be thanking you because you keep bringing it up and you brought it onto YouTube. It was only supposed to be on Instagram or something like that. I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah,
She's
I don't either.
basically saying that because of you, she's going through with the lawsuit, and that Gene is in default.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
not
she's
what
saying.
I heard. I heard she missed some pretty important deadlines and she's in default. But who the fuck knows? Gene does not care. Gene said 2 words: "Kill yourself." That's what that's his response. He don't give a fuck, and I don't either. I don't either, Angel. I told you.
Hey, I bet you Lee makes fun of you tomorrow and says that FBS said she said 2 words: "Kill yourself."
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
3. It is 3 words, but I mean, it is 2 words, but he'll think it's 3.
Yeah, because he's a fucking moron. Yeah, absolutely. Kill and then and then yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Hold on,
Lee,
give me a
that
second.
guy's
Let me
so
finish
fucking
this
stupid.
text.
Yeah, no problem. I find it funny that Lee's on this big, quote unquote anti rat crusade and shit, and then he's on his channel fucking, all giddy and speaking highly of Mikey Scars because he said his name on his fucking channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
This guy,
he
stands for nothing, that guy.
And he sits there like he's this expert, like he's got the inside, he's got an inside connect, and he just knows everything about it.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that he defers to Angel when he asks her, "Is this true? Is that true?" How the fuck would she know?
Right.
You know what I mean? What does she know about any of that? They didn't tell her anything.
You ever hear Lee say "wash"? He
Worsh.
says "worsh."
Worsh.
He says "worsh."
Worsh. Yeah, worsh. Yeah, there's an R in there. I don't know what fucking language that guy speaks, but it's obviously not English.
Yeah, that's weird, right? Worsh.
Yeah. The fourth. He does it with the 4th, too. He takes the R out and puts a W in. The 4th.
That's strange. I mean, that's not a New York thing. And that's not a Texas thing.
Not. No.
Maybe it's a Colorado thing.
It's a fucking moron thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's a mix of a speech impediment and like a backcountry Wisconsin fucking accent,
Yeah. Well, he's definitely a little bit. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
No, that guy's about as sharp as a marble.
That's for sure. But he does think he is the smartest guy on YouTube. It actually bothered him one day when stand-up guy said he was the smartest guy on YouTube.
He really is an idiot, though. An idiot that thinks he's smart. That's got to be the funniest, part of the whole thing.
Bro, listen, I've heard some of the shit he said. I'm telling you, he's dumb as a box of fucking rocks, bro. He doesn't understand anything. He really doesn't.
I've never really watched that guy's show. I've seen maybe like 10 minutes of it.
But that's what we were talking about, right? We were talking about stand-up guy.
Yeah. I was Lee was met with annoyed that stand-up guy said he was the smartest guy.
So what does Lee think he is? Lee.
Yeah.
There's about, I don't know, damn near everyone on here is smarter than you, bro. And everybody knows it. Yeah, stand-up guy is smarter than Lee, unfortunately. It's true. And so is everyone else.
I'll tell you one thing, but that stand-up guy is one ugly motherfucker.
Oh, my God. Goofy-looking bastard. I wish I had his picture.
Shit.
Let me see what pictures I got in here. I don't think I have.
I couldn't fucking... I almost fell out of my chair when I saw his picture.
I bet.
Whose?
Stand-up guy.
Oh, he looks like fucking Carrot Top.
I don't know what the fuck he looks like.
If I'm thinking of the right picture that I've seen, it looks like a fucking gay Carrot Top. That's what I think he looks like. They were also calling everybody over here uneducated and stupid, and Angel was saying that she was highly educated.
Yo, listen to her talk. She's a fucking dumbbell, bro. Like, this is unbelievable. People who have no fucking common sense whatsoever think they're super intelligent. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. She's bigly educated.
Bigly, yeah. Bigly.
Unbelievable.
Look,
Hey,
John
FPS, I got
DeLuca said
to.
donkey face. That's what John calls her.
Magilla Gorilla.
Yeah. What did you say? Common sense.
No, I was just gonna say I have to finish up a couple things for work tomorrow, so I'm gonna jump off and listen to the chat for a few.
All right, sounds good, bro. Thanks for coming.
All
Thanks.
right, Common.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Good talking to you.
Thanks for
FPS.
stopping
Thanks,
by.
Al. Definitely, you
Yeah.
too. Al. Talk soon.
All right, bro. Peace. Yeah, man. You know what? It bothers me, bro. It's the last thing I want to do, but you give me no choice. I have to make it clear to these fucking people. Just don't talk about my family, and I'll never mention yours, but it doesn't work. So I got no choice. And Angel, stop talking about the lawsuit and just file it. You understand that if your kids sue me, we're going to sue you. You realize that, right? I mean, do you really think we're not going to? She's out of her fucking mind, bro. She's out.
Yeah,
And besides, the stories I tell, the things I've said about the kids are not shit I made up. I've heard this from multiple reliable sources. I believe it to be true. Absolutely. But they have to prove. I want to see them prove the damages it's caused. How either of them have lost money from it. You know what I mean? How it's hurt their business, their jobs. I want to hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Here goes Lee. Lee is here. We got to put him on and let him speak his piece. Yes, Lee. Hold on.
Jeff, thank you for coming on here.
Well, listen, thank you. Have a nice
You have a
night.
nice night. We have our agreement. I hope you stick with it. And you listen, Jeff, do me a favor, though. If you're going to talk about me and not use my name, I'm going to know you're talking about me.
He's so worried about Jeff talking
Here's
about
what
him.
you have to remember. When I mention your name, that helps you a lot more than you mentioning mine.
Dude, your show does nothing for my show.
Lee,
I've had
correct.
over 200 people in here for 3 hours.
Fair
You've
enough.
only been here for an hour.
Yeah, not one super chat.
You're right.
My lives,
Yeah.
your lives are way too.
Okay.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't do lives.
You only-
I don't do lives. Very much ever.
Okay, well,
I did one live
don't think that you're more than what you are. Mark my words about this. I
Read.
will be bigger than you in a year from now. Remember I said
Okay. I wish you luck. I hope you are.
Remember I said that.
I'm marking that
I'm very
down.
happy with what I do for a
You have a
living.
nice
I don't-
night. Thank you for coming on.
You too. We'll bookmark that.
Lee actually believes that. I mean, unless somebody buys him the subs, or he actually puts out part of his social security check to buy them, his channel is going nowhere. Lee is bigger than everyone. Yeah, literally in size, but not in status. You know.
I just hope that she doesn't try to hit me below the belt, because there's a lot of ugly things that I really don't want to say.
Well, listen,
You know?
I have friends that are going to be upset that she talked about my fucking family again, my wife. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
people that are going to have my back here, and it's not going to be fucking pretty. And that's what everybody needs. You know what I mean? I need to know that people also won't allow her to put up with that shit. And I know that some won't, you know? So it's unfortunate, but this is the way it's got to go.
They also had a little bit of a go at Don Berlin.
Yeah, well, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, they shouldn't even be mentioning Don's name. Don is a fucking.
But you know how they
god
described
compared
him? They described when the Mueller asked who's Don Berlin. Angel said some guy who was talking about his recovery.
Oh my God!
You know,
She's
like
so
right away.
stupid.
You know, he's nobody. He's an ex addict. You know.
Yeah, he's not a senior intelligence officer who works in the fucking Pentagon. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah. Right.
I mean, come on, bro. Unbelievable. If only they knew. Honestly,
They might now.
I don't know. Let me see. What was I just gonna look? Oh, I gotta check something real quick.
And just when I was thinking about asking her out on a date.
Oh my God, Howie! I would fucking pretend I never knew you, bro. I'd be like, Howie who? Howie who? He was never on my show. I'd be deleting episodes.
Well,
left and right.
they keep showing pictures of me shirtless. They call me Handsome Howie, Handsome Jack, and they got a picture of me with my shirt off.
Really?
Yeah,
Where the fuck did they get that?
I'll text it to you.
That's fucking bizarre. Where do they get a hold of these pictures, bro?
I don't know, but I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Bro, when I looked you up to get a picture for your thumbnail, I only saw one picture of you.
Yeah, there's not too many pictures. Well, if you go into Gangland, there's like 3 other pictures of me.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, here it is. Wait until you see this. This is hilarious. I sent it to you.
All right. I'm trying to find something here in my community, and I can't fucking find it. It's very odd.
Yeah, I can't. I don't understand where they found this picture.
Oh, yeah, fucking right. Did they make that, or did you make that?
No, there's a guy in her chat that has that avatar.
What the fuck, bro? Whose body? Can I put this on the screen?
Go ahead.
Hold on, I can't see shit. I'm in another fucking thing here. God damn, Howie, me and you got the same personal trainer.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
I think that's why Angel likes me.
Yeah, maybe. The Kaz letter. Lee's big break will come when Angel gets him a primetime interview with Angel. Yeah, right. It's a shame, man. I wish this didn't have to happen. Like, why did you have to mention my fucking wife? You know what it is she told Marla and them let loose on Shanna tonight. So okay, I can play that game too. It's gonna be hard for you to listen to, Angel. Very. So anyway, listen, bro. I've been on almost 3 hours. I think I'm going to shut it down. I think we talked about everything. You know me. 1 o'clock is generally when I clock out and I'm off for the night.
Yep.
So thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate it as always. I think this was a great show.
No problem. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, bro. Thanks, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Good night to the chat.
All right, bro. Let's see. I love you, Howie. You're as cool as hell. I think Angel has a crush on you, Howie, secretly, and Tony Soflo. I wouldn't doubt it. All right, guys. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the show. We talked about a little bit of everything. And it's a shame things have to come to this, but people just won't stop. They won't stop. So it is what it is. Thank you to everybody who donated. John DeLuca, thank you. I think he gave me $200 tonight. That's awesome, bro. I appreciate you more than you know. And everybody who donated. You guys are the best. It turned out to be a pretty profitable show. So I feel a lot better. You guys made my night. Absolutely made my night. So remember, the people that donate are the sponsors of this show. They make it happen. Without them, I'm not here. So thank you guys for everything. And everybody who didn't donate, at least hit the like button so a big redneck in Texas doesn't make fun of me. I'd appreciate it very much. Everybody should hit the like button right now. 205 people left. And that's it. I'll be back tomorrow at some time. Thank you for everything, guys. I love you all. And until next time, salute.